We are mucus-free. 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 What's going on, brothers and sisters? Professor Spira here. So this is the a part of the Mucus-free Life podcast now, which is the State of the Mucus Address 2022. What is the state of the mucus in this society, in this world? It's pure insanity, but we're gonna break it down the best we can in these times of insane censorship. I got we here at Professor Spira, Mucus-free Life LLC YouTube channel got our first warning for censorship warning. As soon as I got the 20,000 subscribers on the channel, all of a sudden they went and found a video that was 4 months old, and they claim that it had something in it that went against the community guidelines, but they don't tell you exactly what it is. And when you appeal, that's pretty much a fool's errand, trying to get them to overturn it. And so yeah, so that's that. And today we have some very special guests that I'm gonna bring on.
Did you freeze up?
No.
It look like you froze up for a minute.
Can you can you hear me? Is the audio?
Yeah.
All right. So y'all, everybody's gonna have to put up with me with my video freezing because my my internet connection situation again. After we've literally called them up and kind of having really harsh words with these folks, and it's not getting any better. I think I'm gonna have to get a different internet provider because this is ridiculous. But other than that, as long as you can hear me, that's we'll have to go with that for today. That's part of the state of the mucus. Is it don't matter how much the resources that you throw at these folks. If you a billionaire, they ain't gonna have you're gonna have to just have your own internet connection, which is what we're working on in the long run, trying to have our own, just our own everything.
Yeah. So I'm glad. This is Brother Air. What's going on? You didn't introduce me, so I guess
I did, but I guess you didn't hear it. I said
no. You was froze.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm here, and I guess it's it used to be me with all the problems. So
yeah, right now yeah.
So you get your turn, and so then we move on. But man, I am. I don't know. You want to bring up our other guests?
Well, Tekoa, her internet must have dropped, so she'll. I imagine she'll be working on coming back.
Okay,
getting back on here. So
come on back, because
yeah. So
I want everybody in our listening range and watching and viewing range to take a breath, because that's what it's going to be tonight. We're going to take a breath, and let's get it out, and let's be honest and really. This is almost the new year. Really, it starts tonight with the full moon, and so I'm taking my breaths, and I'm really being cognizant of my life right now, man. It's like, to look back, contemplate what happened over the last year, assess it, really be honest, and grateful that I'm here with two of the closest people in my life, that I'm honored to be here with them today. Spira and Sister Tekoa. And that is always, for me, the best feeling that I can get, you know. So just that has me fired up to tell the truth, to tell my side of it, of the state of the mucus and pus and just whatever's slimier than mucus and pus. Let's you know that this is the address. So we're gonna get it out, and we're gonna deal with things today. It's been a year of practitioner meltdowns. Yeah, you know, this thing is not easy.
Yeah, this is
it's not easy to commit to going, you know, putting yourself back together. And so congratulations, Spira, on the 20,000 subscribers. And you know, I always say that's like a billion.
Yeah, for us. Yeah, that's like,
you know, because just because our content, and I think that this is the most serious issue on the internet when you start talking about the breath and clean blood.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it gets no more serious about that. And we've kind of undertaken that as our duty and our an honor to serve and try to share some of our experiences, because you're talking to people who are living this. You know, it's one thing about just having the book. Some people think they're experts because they have the book, but to live a life when the life is centered and prioritized around the mucusless diet. When I say that, I'm talking about the practice being prioritized around having children, around work, or whatever, you know, just your life, where this is the center of the focus. It's not the children. It's not the job. It's not any of those things. It is the focus of clean blood, of cleaning your blood. So being surrounded today with the most serious people that I know that are the real deal, is bound to be a real informative program tonight. I'm looking forward to revealing some things about myself, things that I want to accomplish, and things that I want to plug into, and you know, just thankful, man. I mean, you know, when you look around at that year, man, that circle goes back around, and you come back up to the top of the circle, and you get a chance. I lost a partner, real close friend that I grew up with since we was in kindergarten, and I had a chance to talk to a lot of friends that I grew up with I haven't talked to in 20 and 30 years, and they've been calling, and one, this was interesting. Now this really made me, you know, especially in time for this broadcast, it really made me kind of think about the work and more of a commitment that I have to put in.
Yeah.
Because this one brother who I grew up with was like a lifelong penitentiary cat, you know, just in and out. I mean, he's 60 now, and he's probably done spent 40 years in the joint. Okay, so he was telling me a story that he came up on a crowd of the guys, you know, that he hung out with in jail, and they were talking, and he didn't know what they were talking about, and it was about me. And he said, Will, he said, you're the only cat that I know with jail block props, and you ain't never did any time.
Yeah.
So I was like, huh? Like, he's like, man, they was up there talking. And I remember the incident, you know, and it just took me back to how sick and how unbalanced I was. And so even now, the practitioners think that I'm like a fired up type of guy. Like, you know, I mean, just imagine then.
Imagine with the.
I mean, I'm a kinder, gentler.
The kinder, gentler.
You know,
the elder getting into the
man. I mean, but then, man, it was like, you know, and so that just kind of like, are you serious? When he was telling me, he's like, man, he said, I come up, we standing and talk, come and talk about you, man. And so he said, you the only cat I know with jailhouse props, and you ain't never been in the joint. I said, man, that you know, some people would stick their chests out and say, wow. But I don't, and I look at, man, it just lets me know the poison is deep. The karma, there's a way to deal with karma, and then kind of balancing out the forgiveness of those karmic things not happening. And that has something to do with the blood, but it also has something to do with pain.
Yeah.
You know, and so if you're willing to, you can balance it out, and you can actually deal with that reality of changing it around if you're willing to go deep into your physiology and acknowledge just how filthy you were.
Yeah.
Really be honest with yourself. And you know, it's something that you don't come out the womb. We don't in Northern America. I'll try to keep it in this country because everybody's reality in different countries, they have different, you know, but mucus and pus is pretty much done screwed up everything, everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's, yeah, that's a thought, man. Yeah. Brother Air, like high on bacon and eggs and cheeseburgers, boy. with the, you know, with that type of, man, you know, and
no fear.
Yeah,
I would fight Muhammad Ali if he said something messed up to me.
Yeah.
I mean, really. I mean, I was that kind of cat. Like, you know, the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Yeah. Well, like we said before, when you talked about your former life, I mean, your former life was sort of what they make movies about. The whole, you know, it's like that's what's propped up in the society. The whole.
I think my former life is what we make movies about.
Well,
that's what's gonna happen. Yeah, that's what we're gonna make real movies that can, you know, that can give you a reality that can help you and elevate you. But yeah, man. So those kind of things is the things that I'm working on. The practitioner meltdown that we're watching with cats just losing it, and there's been a little drama, and you know, I mean, people that own the book think that they are experts, but you know, okay, let's take Spira. I was there when he started this. I used to think he was a Puerto Rican. I didn't talk to him. I just looked at him. I said, he must be a Puerto Rican. He's playing trombone, like he must be Puerto Rican. And that salsa music was like slamming around
at that time, yeah.
In the Midwest, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I said, and it wasn't no jazz cats, playing trombone. It was like I was like, okay, he must be a salsa musician. He's in here, learning jazz or playing, just getting it together. So come to find out that wasn't the case. But here he was in college, gets turned on to this. Now you gotta imagine, man, college, leaving the house. That was the first time you left the house, right? And living on your own.
Yeah.
Whole nother kind of thing. And he's and then he's running into cats like me and Vic. So he's running into professors like, the professors that were there at the conservatory. And so, he's getting this tug. I mean, that's a hell of a tug.
Yeah.
As far as being pulled between two realities of academia and
I mean, the one difference I say that I've observed, like just of watching other people and then seeing me, was I was actively searching for it, because I don't run into a lot of young guys that are like searching like the way I was. Like it's like, yeah, I've always kind of had this idea, like, okay, I'm in the school situation, but I'm like, okay, if I want to learn how to play Black music, I probably got to go try to hang out in the Black community with some, because just because I'm dark, I didn't come from that. Like I didn't spend a lot of time growing up in like, Black community.
Yeah, you were right in the hood too. I mean, you were hanging out at Harmonies.
Yeah. I mean, what was that cat's name, man? I forget his name. That was that one singer, man. It was like he was like old, was like
Kathy.
No. I mean, yeah, no him. No, he was like kind of big, kind of overweight cat, man. I mean, I know he had passed, but he was. I just remember being. I think we was hanging with like with Yaya, and we go. And I just remember this one time being there with him. I mean, this was like the Chuck era, but I was I went with this guy, and he was talking about when he shot somebody. He was like, man, and this dude just shot himself, man, because he just did something. He came up on me, and and he shot himself when I hit him. I'm like, this dude just telling me about it.
That's
it's just like an attitude thing.
That's an attitude, because there was time, literally, I'm telling you, I've seen people get their ass whooped getting on the bandstand and not being able to play.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what you would think was, dang, he can't play. Okay, everybody be cool, get through the song, and then just don't invite him. No, get your ass off. And for doing this, we're going to punch you a couple of times,
right.
To make you know that, don't get up here unless you can play. Like, this whole legacy of learning this art form was that serious. I mean,
yeah.
It was something, man. So, and then the word gets out, that, wow, I ain't getting up there till I can play. So you stay at home.
Right.
And get it together, man. Okay, I think I can. You get up there and then you still can't play. You always think you ready, but you never are. When you first do your first hit.
Yeah, here's the this is let's see, I'll show you. This is the guy that Brother Air met. Was that the guy up here?
Yeah.
Like this, that's
the chunky version.
Yeah. This is
that was not the creamy smooth.
No. No, that's
that was the chunky version.
This is little clips from the webinar that hope you didn't miss the webinar. It was off the chain. You know, this program is getting so honed in and so potent. But yeah, this is taking it back to the
Hey, did you time that webinar? Did you time that webinar with people's tax returns?
I wish I could say I was that savvy that I really was thinking about that, but
he asked me about that. Man, it was just in time. I just got my tax return, so I was in good shape. You know, I was like,
yeah. But yeah, let's see. I think Sisters Decora's trying to get back on. I guess
let's put the magic.
Yeah, put the
come Takora in the spirit of Vic. Come.
Yeah, it's the internet thing. We definitely got to get our own.
Hey, I have to say this because I'm thinking about it. A Sister Takora clone has been sighted in Florida.
Yeah. It's all kinds of insider stuff that we'll leave.
Oh man, that had to shock us both when we heard that. It was like, huh?
Like, oh, yeah, okay, all right, all right. So
she didn't come in. I see she was trying, and then something happened.
Yeah, I guess it's just not solid.
What she did, man.
I don't know. It was solid for a second, but I don't know if maybe
she was in there. She was in there, and then she was trying to tag a bunch of people and send it somewhere or something. I don't know what she was doing. She should have just left it alone.
Yeah. Well.
But then I think she out in the country too, and I don't know what their Wi-Fi situation is. But she was in there, so she just left it alone. She was sitting there just pushing buttons and trying to, tag everybody with it,
Yeah.
So
here's I wanted to. So this in case for folks that didn't see the post. So this was the warning that I got. So this was on the video that, and I'm going to take this opportunity to tell everybody I am backing up. Everything on this channel is now backed up on the blockchain. We got the odyssey.com/@Professor Spira. And from what I heard, I can't even share this link. If I share an Odyssey link, I don't know if it's true or not. I haven't tried, but I heard that Odyssey links are even banned on YouTube. So if I try to share this, like, hey, if something don't pop up on YouTube, then, we're going to start spending more time over here. I actually really like this platform, just the time that I've been over here. It's not like, some of the alternate platforms are real kind of politically centered to one side or the other and that kind of stuff. And this really is like what YouTube used to be in like 2006, like where it's just, they're not taking anything down. You can say what you want. They're not, unless you got some, you put something on here that's just like, they're going to filter out illegal stuff. Like, we don't need to have like porn on here, that kind of stuff, but say what you want to say. And it's going to be on this platform. And so I backed up everything. And this is the video that was taken down. The episode 38 with Kuka Russell, fighting medical kidnapping and staying young and healthy on the Mucusless diet. One of the most important episodes we had, like getting into, they're taking our children away. They're stealing our children, and we're just sitting here not doing nothing about it. Like, well, she's doing something about it. And she's like dedicated her life to that, trying getting people's kids back and helping parents that never should have had children taken away from them by a state that is totally constipated and filthy, run by maniacal, power-hungry idiots You know, and so it was a great episode, I thought. And
everybody is all in line, all of them people.
Shut it down. So I think we got Tekoa, you back on now. You hear
Okay,
us?
I'm back on.
Yeah, you back on, yeah.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's a wonderful thing.
All right. Well, then line up. Get over a little bit.
I'm sending the link for people to come in instead of this main one that I did. You know, I'm an amateur.
Leave it alone where you won't lose it again. Just come
and we got and you sent people the wrong link. You were sending people the link.
It's not the
then that's all you get from Tekoa. You just gonna get them few minutes and then it's gonna. But she sent the link
out. Leave it alone, man. Leave it alone. Come into the podcast. Damn.
She's not gonna do that. She sent the link, the join link to like a bunch of people. That's the wrong link. You know,
they can see the video on YouTube later.
So anyway. So if anybody that's on Odyssey, I highly recommend this. Just from the little bit of time I've been on here, I recommend checking it out. You can follow us on there. I think Dr. Morris got a backup on here. You know, it's just a good, just because, you know, anytime you get these little warnings like this, you know, you start thinking like, man, my channel can be gone now. You know, I could be taken down as we're on the air. I could be taken down. We don't control none of this.
None of it.
You know, and so all these videos, man, and this is kind of like the beginning of a life's work, kind of all this content on here and stuff that people in 50, 60, 70 years will probably value it more than the people that are living now. But it's going to be valued. You know, I know those of you that's tuned in value it. But it's going to be really valuable to some folks in the future. And so I feel good that I've found that they've found a way to protect it, you know, and have it on have it protected. And I actually have I have a list. This is the list of things that we're allowed to talk about on YouTube. So I just printed this out.
I don't even want to hear it.
All right,
I don't even want to hear it.
Little kittens. We're allowed to talk about kittens, puppies. We're allowed to talk about, I don't know, Kim Kardashian's on this list for some reason. We're allowed to talk about Kanye. We're allowed to talk about airplanes as long as this doesn't have anything to do with kamikaze missions, and we're able to talk about any degenerate rappers, and that's it. Like everything else is banned. You're not allowed to talk about anything else on YouTube, or they will take the channel down.
So we are talking about the little boys and the little girls. So you know, we're not talking about that. So we're talking about depriving us the knowledge of how to clean our blood from an early age. That's what we're talking about. Depriving us and creating every impediment it could be, or you know, to stop us from getting this information, and to create a society that supports mucus and pus and death lifestyle.
Right.
We've been sentenced. So when you believe like you haven't been in jail, you've been in jail. You've been in the worst jail. It's worse than a penitentiary. Yeah. The jail that you've been put into psychologically and physiologically, morally, you've been put into a jail that is it's almost like you've been sentenced. It's a death sentence, automatic death sentence.
Yeah. Well, look at we want to address. So we want to address this. This will be good. So we got there's somebody with a channel or said son of Africa asking, why do we demonize meat? Son of Africa is asking us, why do we demonize meat?
You mean him talk like that? You mean the daughter of Africa? you know what I mean? I mean, a real man wouldn't even ask that. Talking about he's son of Africa. No, you don't have nothing to do with Kibalan that I know of asking a question like that. So I mean, why even answer a clown like that? You know, I mean, is he that ignorant? Maybe.
Well, because
that ignorant.
I'm saying if one person's asking that question, there's a lot of other people. So
answer.
So here we go. You know, this is what all of you are. This is the future for all of y'all that want to keep eating the dead pus animal flesh, the drinking the milk, and all that's it. They have a place for you. None of this is necessary. And people are going to look at this and say, "Oh, well, this is what happens. This is old age. This is what it is. You grow up and you end up here and in hospice care. You end up in the intensive care. You end up in the emergency room. It's just normal." And we're saying that is not normal. It's based on eating pus and mucus is how and why people end up in these places. And until you are ready to demonize, until you are ready to totally ban and make it illegal. You want to make it illegal for us to say certain words on here? But it's not you can they got how many videos are there of people stuffing dead animal carcasses into their face? You want to talk about something that should be illegal, slaughtering these animals and then cook it up. Take all the worms and all the parasites and all the pus and just get it all down your lips and your throat and all down the front. But that's perfectly acceptable. But we might utter the name and suggest that it's not a good idea to get a particular medical procedure. Boom, it's gone. We're done. No more YouTube channel. We're gone. You know, and then we get, I've already been hacked, you know, now because they get trying to focused on us now. They're like, these guys are coming up. They've been hacking us. They've been trying to get the website off and all kinds of stuff that happens behind the scenes. All because we want to try to impart information that prevents people from ending up here. That's why we're so evil, because we want to help people not end up here.
Demonize. Well, first up, I'm going to ask Kyrene, does she have her stethoscope and blood pressure where she can take Spira's blood pressure? We're not even in the 20 minutes of it, and I can see he's fired up. So, you know, keep an eye on his blood pressure. So, you know, yeah. So
I'm just saying.
Hey, you are back.
Spira has a nurse standing by. That's a good thing, boy. He's fired up. I'm glad you got the nurse standing by. So we're in good shape.
Stand by.
All right, so it's solid here. So all right, Tekoa, you're solid.
Finally,
we can
I'm
hear.
on these. We still don't have internet down. I'm on Ayana's phone.
Okay. Well, hold on.
Oh, she said we got the internet. It's just these. What's up with the computers then?
Well, it's working. Whatever you're doing is working for a moment. So let's take advantage of it.
We can see you. Thanks, it's kind of a like. Don't you hear Spira a little something coming off her phone?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So what am I talking about? Breathing. That'll work.
Staying on the internet for these hours that we're gonna do this. That's what we're talking about. So,
breathing. Okay, that'll work.
Yeah. So what say you, Tekoa? How you doing and how your family doing down there? Everybody all right?
Yeah, we just relaxing here in the country. You know, breathing for real, doing some real live work, you know, and being appreciative, because, you know, when you plugged into nature, the planet for real. I'm not talking about living around trees. I'm talking about appreciating living around the planet, in it, where your feet is literally physically getting all the vibration and frequency. And you look into the universe and see, I mean, hella stars. It's like it's a totally different environment from being in the inner city. And the air, the oxygen is extremely clean, and the people's attitudes are a hell of a lot different. You know, even if you wanted to, you know, go out and venture and just meet people, it's the vibration is completely different. I'm seeing that even more as I, you know, come here and get my feet down into the roots of it. I go up to Atlanta, you know, and spend like 3 or 4 days there to work at the center. And it is busy. I mean, extremely busy. And I could feel the energy and the toxicity. And when I come to the country, I can feel the rejuvenation, you know, literally the revitalization taking place. So I'm seeing that, you know, people in the community are looking. I'm talking about people that's dealing with the Mucusless Diet Healing System. They look at many of us a certain way. We still mastering ourselves, you know, to let people know that, you know, this is literally 50 years for me, for real. I never talk about that. How many years to see is for me. I count it. And when I started, when I was younger, I was reflecting on the younger people today. You know, 17 is the youngest that I know. He just turned 17. Amazing young man. He spends hours on himself. His name is Nasir Mansour. And he was one of my yoga students. And I gave him a Mucusless Diet Healing System book about 4 years ago. And this young man is on fire. You know, his father's a truck driver. He's one of Adama's disciples. And the son, his name is Nasir. He was like one of my children. You know, they would come for day camp and do yoga and study birds and a lot of different subjects pertaining to our life. And this young man, he's the youngest, watching his life change and shift. I can see some of the older with some of the, he doesn't have issues with relationships. Even some of the children of the son.
Is he making plans to come to Air Day?
Depending on, he works. I don't know. He works. He's a truck driver. He drives a truck with his father.
No, I'm talking about the young brother.
And I said, I don't know. He works with his father. He drives truck.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Trust me, I'm listening, honey. And that's the thing about the frequency.
Yeah.
As we start cleaning our blood, we are sharper and we pay close attention. We see things a little sharper. We hear things. And I put in that chat, words and works are primarily something that we deal with feverishly, simply because people, we have a lot of sisters and brothers, especially in our community, that start doing the work and then they kind of waver off and they regress.
We talked about the meltdown. We talked about this year's been a lot of practitioner meltdowns.
Well, those are some of our reflections from our new self, from what we used to be when we were older. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm saying with the waste when we was older, because we knew beings with cleaner blood. So you know, you got your old and your new. And so for me to see mostly the females in particular that have had these setbacks, it's only because of the work that they
you went out for a minute. Yeah, you went out.
Yeah, you're freezing up.
Yeah, you're muted.
Well, no, I think she's not muted. It's just it's dead. Well, like I said, we got our couple minutes. That was we were gonna But it's like
we can't hear you. We can't hear you, Tekoa.
Yeah, she's in a little dead zone with the audio.
We can see you. We can see you and everything, but
you might have to move to a different location, like in the room or something. Yeah. I mean,
we can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can see you, but we can't hear you. Yeah.
I don't know. Might have to leave and come back in again.
Yeah, try to leave and come back in again, maybe.
Yeah.
That was the old way I used to have to do. So I know that.
Yeah. It's like you hit the reset button, and
Yeah. So yeah, she was talking about just younger people and how seeing people go through this thing, reality, it's like a reality denied to you, and when you it's almost like you can't recognize it when it comes along. When something like this comes along, it looks bizarro to you.
Mm-hmm.
I take off my hat to all of the practitioners who have kind of accepted it. They get it, you know, young, mid-age, and folks as old as 60. They're getting it, you know. It's better to get it than to not get it at all in your life. So it don't matter what age, but it's like you bring all this from inside the womb. You know, it's like you've been denied, man, and then you live a life that is really demonstrative and it's almost criminal. It's almost criminal, man. That this is not like information that, you know, when people talk about kindergarten, you know, it's the first
right
academia that you deal with. So that should be the information. This should be the information, along with the orange juice and the apple slice. You dig?
Yeah.
This should be the information, and you know, so.
Yeah, but that doesn't help them, you know, remain dominant over those that they want to control and subjugate.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah,
a true and a real education doesn't help that. They only want to really provide that kind of, you know, critical thinking based kind of education to their people and their folks that they've selected.
Well, they're not even sharing that with their people.
Well, some of their people, because a lot of their people are not bright enough to get it. But the ones that are bright enough, they'll share a little something. Not exactly what we're talking about, but just
right.
Higher some of the, you know, the what's left of a little bit of a higher consciousness that they, you know, but they always twist it and steal it and, you know, turn it into something really degenerate. But yeah, I mean,
that's why we exist, is that everybody who practices the Mucusless Diet Healing System that gets the information doesn't turn it into something that is incorrect. And there have been those that we've watched over the years that have taken it and you know, what was it? Mayonnaise and eggs. That was a part of the Mucusless Diet Healing System, as interpreted by one leader of their group in one part of the country. Their staple was mayonnaise and boiled eggs. And here was the book, and that wasn't in the book, but they had instituted it into their lifestyle
Well, mayonnaise is.
What was it? Mayonnaise, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it is in the
Well,
book.
I mean for them to use it like that.
To use it for the rest of your life.
Like
they
were like that was like a staple, like
like every day.
That
was the you know, the dressing of choice, you know. The homemade egg-based mayonnaise dressing.
But speaking of that, I remember when Vic went through a thing like that.
Mm-hmm.
He had to have that. All of a sudden, in his years of practice, he went in that direction, and you know, it was like he just had to get that out, like
right.
You know, he just had to get that out. So
well, I mean that's why we always say the wisdom of practicing the diet on this path is never say never about anything in the transitional kind of, you know, because that's the one thing I don't say never for nothing. Like there's things that, I mean, it would be suicidal, but to try to eat, but
yes,
you never say never, because you can wake up like something moves, some little toxic waste starts moving around, and you wake up and all of a sudden you're having this insatiable craving for something, and then you get into that. Well, like I used to call that the crackhead mode. You know, I mean, you're barely even observing yourself. Like you're like, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? Like you lost your control, you know. And that's what we work on, you know. That's why I kind of focus on that and like to talk about those times, because most of the people out here don't, you know, most of the people that in the raw foods communities and all this kind of stuff, you know, they don't really, it's like they don't want to count that part of if they had a transitional period. They act like, oh, that wasn't really, you know, so they don't always talk about the reality of whatever it is they're into and what they're doing, the transitional nature of the beginning of it, you know. And just, it's like, what else is there to talk about? That's like, that should be it. That should be all we're talking about is transition. You know, we get into all this other stuff. Is like, this is about transition.
Well, I've finally gotten comfortable with admitting to myself, because that was a struggle where I wouldn't even admit to myself. But I think this year I admitted to myself that I actually feel comfortable not eating. Like that's the way I exist better, is when I'm not eating. So I really feel comfortable with saying that now. Like, and that's what I do. I just don't eat, man. I mean, I'll drink a little juice or something, but I just feel better not eating, man. It just works. It just works, man. It you know, and so that's where I'm at with it, you know, like being honest with myself and saying, okay, understand your reality and kind of go in the direction of what is real. And that's real, you know. So so I was actually going to come off this fast Sunday
on the first day of
the first of it. Right. I'm not going to do that. Just keep it going. Like, all right, man.
Right.
Feeling good. So
keep it rolling.
Yeah, keep it rolling. Yeah. And have this introspective look back of a year of which you know, Eric Day was a part of that year. Certain eliminations, just looking back, man, and thinking about elevating and things that I can refine for myself. And I'm really going to, you know, as they say, take no prisoners with acquaintances. You know, with acquaintances in the practice of the diet. I don't want to be around folks who are shucking and jiving, and I really don't have time for that. I'm really about the seriousness of taking themselves serious. I want to be around people who take themselves serious. about it. So, you know, we have a lot of little boys and little girls that have books. That's the way I like to describe them. They have the book, you know, but you know, rarely will they step into that manhood or that womanhood with the life, you know, like prioritizing like this in our lives, all three of us. This is it. This is everything else fits around it. Not we're trying to fit that into a reality or the workforce or the whatever it is that we're supposed to be a part of. This is it. And so if I mean, I actually seen Spira put academia when he was in academia, put it, you know, third or fourth down on the list. I'll get back with you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better now. It
door.
was doing some kind of fuzzy or something weird before.
Yeah. So we were talking
I'm
about.
I'm buying a landline.
Okay, cool.
I heard everything.
Okay, cool.
And when you said you wasn't coming up off the fast, I was saying that's how nature is. When you know the stomach starts shrinking and the body, you lamb, and the body start getting used to oxygenation anyway. So
yeah,
I think personally, back on the subject with the younger people that's now coming forward with all this help they got, and they got, I mean, a universal cosmic power with this, you know, mucus-free channel and elders just doing this work. I think that we're gonna have to be patient, hella patient, for real, because as many people that fall off, they get a chance to come back too and come back on and experience and tell about their experiences and stuff, because it's a high they coming off of. You can't expect people to be like cold turkey overnight. That ain't gonna happen.
I've never seen as many young people or people in general that I'm hearing about that can't have natural bowel movement. I mean, that's like it all. That's like it all.
I was gonna say, I mean, I've had, yeah.
I knew more folks that couldn't shit every day.
Well, I'm seeing this year where I'm hearing younger people, the more younger people, the what they call them, the millennials or whatever that supposed to represent. I'm seeing where they just having the hardest time having bowel movements, natural bowel movements. And I'm like,
I mean, I was like that before I got into the diet. You know, I had them, you know,
Me too.
have a bowel movement every couple of days. My thing was like, I would get them what it feels like, it is like a rock that has razor blades all on the sides of it. And you sitting there just kind of like
that ass hurt.
I mean, you just screaming, man, and then you put it, and it comes out and it looks smaller than it felt, you know, the thing, you know, but it's literally rock hard. Like I would take something and like try to pick it apart and be like all these like little rock balls all put together.
Shit, I had to dig like something out of me. That's how dry. Funky
I can remember having gastritis a couple of times. I tried to eat 3 or 4 Big Macs or quarter pounders or whatever my thing was.
Oh, wow.
I ended up having gastritis. I mean, it was a sick existence, man. I mean, I was a glutton. I could eat you under the table and would try. I mean, at the Thanksgiving dinner, you know, I would have a plate of meat and a plate of the dressing and candied yams and macaroni and cheese and potato salad and string beans or whatever was there. I would have 2 plates.
How can we help people to understand that right now at this point in time is more lethal than ever before? Because like right now, I have experienced a young sister that wanted a baby so bad, got a baby born in the hospital. They're doing everything they want to do to this baby. The girl in the crazy ward, the psych ward. She went from
I mean, what can you do there?
Damn life, 2 years. 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 2 live
You're having problems with your
some
audio.
kind of progress in. But this is the state of the pus. The sanctions is lifted for the mask. The sanctions are lifted. However, we still got people that's like plugged into the politics. We got a diseased war, civil war with European families that want to drag people and get dang on nothing to do with this BS, and then pull any and everybody out of their circle. Now we working on doing the blood cleansing and a global movement to rise above war, sickness, illness, and disease. And then we still got people that's being given incentives and degrees and rewards and all kind of money to create more disease. How and where do we? I'm having a deja vu. How to sleep right now. What is the blueprint for how to get people right now away from following the grave diggers? What's the state
my thing has never changed, man. I'm always spreading the information, no matter. My son told me one day, he said, man, you can just swing the conversation to the Mucusless Diet Healing System, no matter what I'm talking about. I could be at the insurance company or at the bank or wherever. I can get it there. That's, I can. So my thing is just always having that as the central conversation that I'm going to have with other individuals. I don't have time to talk about the Bengals and who they. I don't have time to talk about Putin's Putin. You know what I mean? I don't have time to talk about his elimination and whatever. What I have time to talk about is, have you heard about the Mucusless Diet Healing System?
Right.
What do you eat? I have no problem with seeing somebody in front of me and you can see what they eat and kind of trying to tell them, especially if they're a younger sister or brother, and I'll pull my card out and I will tell them to go to the website. I do that all the time. I mean, that's just my orientation. And you remember Spira, where you were saying you were surprised that so many mucusless diet books were sold in Cincinnati?
Yeah.
That's because of me.
Yeah.
And I was pushing that book, man, like telling people, at gas stations, at wherever, I would swing the conversation around to the Mucusless Diet Healing System. So I just think that the same way that they try to move us into talking about all this relevancy, quagmires of irrelevancy to the war or the sports. March Madness is coming up and, all that. We just need to be like constantly making them irritable with that. Like, have you heard about the Mucusless Diet Healing System? And that's it, man. That's the only conversation we can have at this point, because we're in a state of emergency, and some folks are gonna reject it and just look at. I remember Big John. That's what Big John talks about. How I was telling him at the Detroit Jazz Festival, and he was looking at me like I was crazy. But you see where he is now. Yeah,
and I just see. So there was Jessica says I'm about to buy them all the books. I wish I could record the courses and the coaching. Can't right now. I'll be watching all these videos. So that reminded me, and because really supposed to start on the first day of spring, but I'm gonna release it to everybody in the chat right now. The spring sale. So we got 15% off the book bundle. So all 7 books. This is literally the cheapest that it's ever been. 15% off, like the paperbacks. Because I usually can't do that because and the prices are going up. So I'm gonna have to raise the price at some point because just with all the supply chain, all the messed up stuff they doing in the gas and all that kind of stuff, they can't keep the systems together. And so and the inflation and all that good stuff. So this price is gonna go up. But yeah, this is an opportunity. Go ahead and jump on that. Limited time. Yeah, 15% off. Put that little coupon code in, click the link, and that'll
shoot.
Yeah, that's so everybody. So now no one has an excuse now. It's like the books, you could get you all of the books, and people really like the paperbacks. I noticed that folks really like to just hold these books.
Well, they're great books. They're great books. They look good. They they're books for the millennial eye. The millennial eye want to see pretty, flashy colors, and so this is right up their alley, man. So
yeah.
Get the bump. What?
So and if anybody that just wants to get some books for some other people, this is also the opportunity for that. And I know a lot of folks like to get multiple books and hand them out and all that kind of stuff. And so,
did you hear that child say that she had just got through doing her enema?
Oh, that's what she said. Okay,
down, boy.
Into the woods.
Yeah, he just got through doing the enema.
Yeah.
Cause he
said it was an armadillo in the woods.
Oh, okay. All right, y'all in the real woods. Armadillos.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all live in the
dog,
forest.
Big ass,
lions,
this big mother trucker.
Lions, tigers, and
big
bears.
old, big gigantic horse looking thing.
Yeah, y'all.
He's barking at an armadillo.
So one thing that we were gonna talk about was the happy slave of 2022. I think I can say those words without YouTube coming in and because with this whole everything that happened over the past 2 years, they don't mind this. We can talk about as long as you're talking about slavery. And they like this will go through their radar because it's like, oh, it's folks they're cooking and a birthday cake for George Washington. That's you can talk about that all day.
A warm place to live, sleep, and eat.
Yeah, what do you want?
Take a bowel movement. Shake.
That's Master's hand.
That's it. That's it. That is the life. That is the life. Maybe go on a cruise every summer. That is the life.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's we just love love folks love this. Got to Massa got his arm around me.
Well, we have what that's transferred. What that's transferred from the cruise. We got the mutual. We got the mutual to Cora. We getting the baby.
Do tell, young man. Do tell. If I could mute it myself, I don't know how to do this phone.
All right, I'll mute it. I muted it, and then if I see you talking now, I'll unmute it.
All right, I was gonna say put some pineapple in his mouth. Grab a slice of papaya.
But my thing is like really the most disappointing thing for me about the whole past 2 years and all of this things words I can't use because we'll get deplatformed and just what happened over the past 2 years. And what's really just aggravated me and just really disappointed me is the total lack of resistance and how easy it was. It was for the authoritarian figures to just shut up, sit down, get in your house, put on your muzzle, Don't and you know, and don't say nothing.
Yeah, it was easy to the point where I think yourself and myself were surprised that it wasn't as much adversarialness towards me. That was what was surprising me. I thought at least Black folks was really gonna reject the jab. You know, I thought they really was gonna.
Good luck.
But you know, I mean, especially older folks my age, you know, and older, I just wasn't expecting them to just come that easy and the reason why, well, I want to travel. I got a cruise I'm going on in September or whatever. I want to travel and I want to you know, be able to get into these places and all these things. So it was heartbreaking, man. It really.
He said he gonna take it off when I want to talk.
No, you talking now. We can hear you.
I already did.
We can hear you.
Tekoa,
we can hear you. We can hear you. You got something to say?
Yeah, I got something to say.
Okay, well, say it. We can hear you.
Every older person that's supposed to have been like a carrier or whatever, because those are the ones that would quarantine their family members to come visit them where they were.
That ain't working.
And had dedicated themselves to the community. And when they got sick, of course, you know.
I had to mute because we can't hear you. It's it's coming in and out real, like it's not real solid.
Yeah.
And I mean, you might have to. I don't know where the Wi-Fi thing is in the house. If you went and go stand next to it or something, you know, that could help. Or well, I guess if you're not using Wi-Fi, if you're using the 4G kind of thing.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. It just comes in and out once you start talking. Like it's just, like the connection isn't real strong.
I'm in the country. I cannot figure this out.
Well, I don't think
I use some sign language.
I don't think it's nothing that you're doing. I think it's just
because are you using like the cell phone? I mean, it might be better outside. I don't know if you can leave the bed, you know, or walk outside. That might help.
No, let me go. Let me
unless
check
you're on
it out.
unless you're on Wi-Fi, unless you're on Wi-Fi, then you would need to get closer to the Wi-Fi.
I think she's on the phone.
Yeah.
Where's the antenna for the Wi-Fi at?
Well, ask if you're on Wi-Fi or if you're on.
Am I on Wi-Fi? Oh, okay. It's just on her phone.
It's just on the phone.
Yeah.
I'm walking outside.
If you go outside, that might help.
I'm going outdoors.
Okay.
About to go outdoors where it's cold.
Oh, it's cold there?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, the temperature dropped. You know, it dropped at nighttime. Oh, lovely.
So,
can you hear me now?
Yeah, I mean, we're hearing you. Yeah, and the dog.
That little nigga ain't gonna stop.
The dog need an edible.
Motherfucker ain't getting no edible. So, you know what I was alluding to with being in the hospitals, like right now, you know, if I were to go to the hospital, you know, I can only go so far because I wanted to go and visit a girl that's in the psych ward. You have to wear a mask. They make it mandatory now. If you don't want to wear no mask, you can go in a certain area, but they'll have to come to you. And so it's like right now where we are, where people agreeing to this, that's upon their own stupidity. And then you have people that are still rewarding people to do it. You know, people that's in the medical field, they getting paid swell to continue this charade.
Well, that's a part of it. That's a part of it. They don't want to lose that kind of salary.
Oh, no doubt. $3,000 damn week as a nurse. Who want to give up that kind of money? You know, and needless to say,
well, there are those who have, and you know, there are those who have. So, you know, those are the heroic or heroines of the, you know, people who prioritize the practice of the mucusless diet. So there are those who have. So.
I would really like to know how many of those that was in that field that left, because I don't know none.
Oh, you know one.
I know is
Put Kyrene
vegetarians.
on. Put Kyrene on. She left. She left that field. You talk to her all the time, Tekoa.
Kyrene was a nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know what where her field was at, you know, because I'm still learning people in this community. She was a nurse.
Yeah.
Well, I'm surprised that didn't come up in y'all.
I'm telling you. What y'all talk about? Y'all was getting to know each other. I'm like, damn.
Getting them parasites out. Shit.
Okay, well,
I mean,
that's cool too.
That's the top.
Yeah, she went out.
Now it just dropped.
Just dropped.
But that's, you know, that's been what was just really bugged me about the past couple years, you know, not the authoritarian, well, of course the authoritarianism, but you expect that, you know, I mean, I've been expecting what we're going, I don't like it, but I've been expecting the pushback and the stuff we're dealing with now with YouTube for years. You know, I've been dealing with Google, like I dealt with all of this, you know, just behind the scenes, you know, it's just rough just because they don't want.
Go ahead.
Well, they don't want this information. They don't want to let this information be on their platforms, and so they do everything to just make it as uncomfortable as possible for you to share this information. You know, and that's like the history of this. You know, people don't understand that.
That's why I do it personal. That's why I'm a more personal person. I will talk about the mucusless diet anywhere to anybody. If you're going to say something to me, then I'm going to talk to you about the mucusless diet.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how I do this thing. And my disgust is I don't want to be around you. Not really. But if I'm around you, I'm making myself feel comfortable by talking about the mucusless diet. I don't care if it's out of context of whatever's going on. I'm just not playing games with people and practitioners. You know, I'm not playing games. I mean, it's like I'm gonna let you have it. You know, I'm gonna let you have it. If I don't think you're on the one, or if you're not sincere, and based on living this thing, man, you know, you know, I mean, it's just like little boys and little girls that have the book. That's all you mean to me right now. You just got the book. You know, you gotta do some work. You gotta really live the life. When you start having families and start living the life, like, you know what I'm saying? You live the life. Part of the life now is for Spira is going through the hospital system and seeing what that's like while you're living the life. Yeah. And that becomes a part of, we knew it was coming. You know, we talked about it and I went through it. Now it's Spira's time to.
And we talking about family members that end up, you know, that go through the system.
The deaf culture system.
The deaf culture system.
And they didn't want to, you know, you get this information and you really want to share it with them. And you do, but they don't pick up on it. They don't pick up on it. So this is the things that we have to go through with them at some point. So that's hard because you have to have a balance of they're there and that's somebody else's house. And here you come with all this disgust because you're dealing with some morons. I mean, like literally, these people in the hospital, when it comes to that chronic illness and dealing with with trying to get these people back up on
absolute
their feet.
insanity.
Yeah, are just morons. And you see that they have not been equipped with information to help.
This is some of the meals. This is a little glimpse of what they, so they diagnose someone with pneumonia, then here comes dairy, trying to give ice cream, trying to give, he's got pudding and all this stuff, little chicken crap.
Yeah.
And you paying almost $4,000 a day. And this is the best that they got for you with food.
Oh.
Nothing fresh, no fresh nothing. Just absolute. I mean, the exactly what you shouldn't be eating if you ever wanted to try to heal from anything. And but this is the reality. This is what they, getting you pumped up with all the medicine. Boy, this lemon ice, man, they kept on sending this old water, corn syrup, sugar, I threw a lot of stuff. I did like Arnold Air did with Hirsch. I was throwing a lot of stuff down the toilet and in the garbage can, like just they are bringing in. I'm like,
I mean, I was getting into it with my sister, man, where I was dumping the food that they would bring in.
Mm-hmm.
And she would try to say something to me about it, man. We would get into it, man. I'd be like, hey, get out of my face. I have time to even talk to you about, well, she has to eat something. No, she won't. No, she don't have to. What I'm saying? That's the problem why she hears, because this is what she was eating.
Yeah.
So you can't get that over to them. And they just,
I mean, just objectively, just if you grab somebody on the street and you be showing them this picture, like, does this look like food that would help you heal? Like, even to a pus eater, like, does this look like this would help you heal yourself if you're really sick and you're in the hospital?
They would probably, they probably are fans of that food. They probably, oh yeah, that would, yeah. Put a little Spam on the side. Oh man,
Spam. I guess a little salt and pepper or something. But nah, man, I just can't. Where's my bologna? Let me get my bologna. I'll make my own sandwich, I guess.
We're in this thing, and where we should be concentrating on, we have, the practitioners, is trying to tell people about it. Make yourself feel comfortable in the next little get together or wherever you go, where everybody else is feeling comfortable, but you're sitting there not feeling comfortable because they don't have any fruits or nobody's over there juicing in the juicer or no kind of salads, real salads or anything, but they got.
Well, yeah, I mean,
they have some guacamole, that you can.
Yeah, I mean, that's just always been a thing that I kind of had a hardcore attitude about all that early on, in terms of just like, I'm not associating. I'm trying to do this, so I'm not gonna associate.
Well, you're the loner of loners. You're the loner of loners. And that's why I'm surprised you in the situation you're in, because I just never seen that coming. Like, the loner of loner is now not alone, and so, but I can imagine that you still are alone inside the house. You have your alone time, and that's like, y'all kind of have those.
Well, the main thing is just, like I said, that was important for me early on, was just having that time. And I see a lot of people don't give themselves that time. They're scared of being alone. They're scared of just just that whole dynamic, and I just had this attitude, like,
how long can you be when you're in the hospital? That's, you see what I'm saying? When you when you sick as a dog and you really alone. See, that's, if you really want to be alone, keep doing what you're doing. See, because you choose your aloneness. You know, like I
Right.
choose, but they don't choose it. And then they wonder why nobody's coming to see them. Why, you know, nobody want to be going to, especially with the scamdemic going, and you have to, you know, when they had you mask up and stand over here and do, I mean, it was just sickening. So nobody want to go see you, you know, and so yeah, man, we, you know, let's get the word out. Let's get the practitioners out of just owning the book. They think just owning a book is enough. I got the book. I'm reading it, you know, but they don't understand the shift. The shift in the faith. The shift in the faith into cleaning your blood is almost like it's a movement. It's a movement towards independence, towards real freedom. Like, do you really want to be free?
You really want to be free.
I mean, like, we ain't just talking about freedom. We're talking about if you really want to be free, you know, it's like, okay, I'm gonna concentrate on this. And, you know, yeah, I know we're scared of where our finances is coming. Yeah, we shiver. Me and Spira shiver. And it's like Spira has a PhD, and he's rejected that world, you know, and because it's not like he's making a choice like, okay, I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that. It just makes sense to be who he is and do what he does. It just makes sense. This isn't a stretch. He doesn't feel like he's giving up something. He feels like he's gaining something. This is where the doctor should be. This is a real doctor now. Now, if it's a PhD, doctor of this, doctor of that, they ain't doctors of nothing. Most of them. But now Spira, with getting into clean blood and the prioritizing, now he's the real doctor. He can talk about a subject that necessarily he didn't go to academia to learn about it. He lived it. So, I mean, it's like, this is real now. This is, you know, making those decisions, you get great rewards. Great rewards come your way. Universe takes care of you when you just move out of the way and be like, okay, I just submit, okay, I'm going to concentrate on cleaning my blood and you take over. Whatever is to be is to be.
Yeah.
Whatever is to be. And so that's what the practitioners don't understand. They think that you can have the 1 foot in and 1 foot out.
Yeah.
And that's why we see the meltdowns, you know.
I mean, my attitude always was like all this never is far from my consciousness, you know, because I just grew up as a young person in this environment, just thinking how wrong it was, knowing it was wrong, but not understanding why. But I always say, if you could do something to prevent yourself from ending up in here like this, like, wouldn't you work as hard as you possibly could to achieve that goal, to not end up here? You know, to keep your freedom. Like we're saying, we talking about real freedom, you know, so your boy Son of Africa gonna be up in there, you know, get with his, you know, and they will be happy to bring you some fresh milk, fresh out the plastic carton. They will bring you a little box of milk. You can get you some bologna and milk at your nearest hospital after you had your heart attack.
Why are we demonized? Why are we demonizing the taking of lives? You see what I'm saying? That's what he's asking. Why are we demonizing the taking of lives? It's like, well, you don't get it. You don't get it just from that standpoint. You don't get it, right? You dig? And then you take their lives, and then you've been brain dirtied to think that you have to eat them.
Yeah.
You are scarier than anything on the internet or any movie that's been made in Hollywood. You are as scary as anything. You are the real monster. You've been turned into a monster, and you don't even know. We say you don't even know that you don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like we said, it comes around. See, the connection that folks need to make is, then I'm gonna hook this up so we get this. We're gonna get this connection here today. So because this is the kind of, when we talk about education, this is what folks should be seeing in their little, elementary school educational situation is this, because it's
we talked about doing the program Scared Clean.
Yeah. So it's like we until the connection is made, until you can make the connection from this reality over here, the real deal, what's happening, how your so-called food is made with such love and tenderness, tender loving care, and until you make the connection, this ain't nothing new. Read any of your,
I say tender love.
Tender love. This is, tender love. And, until we can meet, like when you see this on the left, this on the right shouldn't seem strange to you anymore. Like there shouldn't be a question of where did this come from? There's a reason for this on the right. It's this on the left.
Somebody has to do it because we have to have protein to eat our dinner. We have to have dinner.
Yeah, I haven't had it. Yeah, so, protein so deficient. I'm about to.
So the parents
fall out.
The parents tell them these things to, like the one little child said, well, why don't we kill the dog and eat it? Yeah, we killing everything else. Why don't we kill the dog? Why don't we kill the cat? We in the
that's what I'm saying. And fresh rat milk. Yeah, I would think that would be pretty nutritious.
Yeah,
get the rat milk, get a little dog milk.
No doubt. Why you think they experiment on rats all the time? Because it's something there that they think connects them to us, and they can get some answers, which they're psychos, they're psychopaths. We're being led by psychopathic monsters, and we don't want to admit it. From the judges to the teachers, to the preachers, to the imams, to the ministers, to the priests, to the doctors, the nurses. They're monsters, psychopathic monsters. Psychopathic monsters. Now, if you're in trouble with you into the trauma, that's where they excel. And people heard of say that, that's where they excel.
Well, that's what I say. And what I found out, the more tragic a condition you're in, the better it is. Like the better care you're going to get from them. And as soon as you baseline, as soon as you get to a point where you're not on death's door, then it's like, man, now you're getting the worst possible care that you can. It's like it flips overnight, like literally, like you're almost dead. And then you stabilize and boom, it's over. Like now here comes the.
Well, what do you think about if you are mucusless? Do less tragedies happen to you? The more mucusless and more you clean your blood. Like you remember when we were talking about the sister's father who got attacked by the dogs?
Yeah.
Would happen if he was mucusless?
I mean, you can't say that. I don't know.
Well, I'm just asking. I'm asking.
I mean, I don't know if we can really go down that type of road because that's all speculative.
Let's go down that type of road
but it's speculative. I'm saying it's like,
some incentives for weaponry.
Well, I'm saying we don't need that because we already have this. Like this is unconditional. This will happen. down that road. There's no,
Oh,
there's
well,
no ifs,
yeah,
ands,
yeah,
or buts.
we
You
know,
might not,
we
you
know
know,
that.
we don't
know
know.
that.
We can't, like, we don't know if you're going to get attacked by that dog or not, you know, and that kind of outside this world thing. But we know what this is.
I'm bringing it up for question and examination as does those tragedies happen the more mucusless and the more cleaner that you get, can you avoid that kind of karma? I mean, I don't know. I'm just putting it out there.
Well, I mean, yeah, philosophically, I mean, either yes or you're gonna, and it also depends on how you practice, I think, because that's where the enema ends up being that thing that can pull more karma out of you. Like you just pulling all that towards you, and
I think
you burning it off. It's like it helps you burn the karma off.
I think you can be forgiven for. I think like when they say it's karmic, you know, it's you got some karma. Like you know, when we were younger, and when we think to ourselves, man, it's the karma that we got to pay. Yeah. I think that we can cancel it out, some of it, maybe all of it, with behavior and actions and doing the right thing to kind of neutralize that. I truly believe that we can avoid. It's kind of like I believe it's in the conceptual link of born again.
Yeah.
The born again concept, and I believe women can be born again, even as to think and to truly believe that they're virgins again, if they do enough cleansing. You know, I mean, that's a stretch, but I'm just saying that, you know, I believe, you know, you can create a new womb, a whole nother womb with cleanliness, you know. Mm-hmm. And so I believe that you can become a virgin again, you know.
Yeah, brother Ayers got you. You got your little, you know, you get
out of body. I'm trying to
deep.
But I'm trying to share some out of body experiences that I don't share with most people.
Yeah,
I don't even share with you a lot of things from like looking down at the clouds, that type of experiences, and from a lot of fasting and a lot of dry fasting, and getting to points where you actually are out of body traveling and seeing realities that doesn't sound like a reality to those who are not trying to clean their blood. So that's why you can't talk about those things, but I'm talking about them today, you know, about a little bit of it today.
Yeah. I mean, so we move into the philosophical realm, but yeah, I agree. I mean, that's, to me, it's the only, you know, all paths lead to this path eventually. Like it has to. And so
visionary, you can be visionary, and then you can be a reality is, and visionary is kind of seeing something where the reality of something to come is already there. You're just not in sync with it. That's what I'm seeing when I have these out of body travel experiences. It's like seeing things that are there, that reality has to catch up with.
Mm.
But the only kind of reality that would attempt to catch up with it is clean blood reality.
Yeah. I mean, that's the piece that's generally missing when people start going down these paths, talking these topics, that's always missing is like, you know, first and foremost, having that physiological excellence and cleanliness, and then going on those journeys, you know, then checking out
that's the only way
whatever it is, you know.
That's the only way the journey can occur. You just can't think this stuff up. This is blood now. Now we're talking about what is immortal in you. That's the blood that's been in you for thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah.
That's the history lesson. When you know people start talking about DNA, man, that blood is the tracker. You know how they put the tracker on the phones and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
You want to track your history. Start cleansing your blood.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some people are afraid of that kind of reality. We say, don't get scared if it gets too real.
Right.
Because it can get real, you know. It can get real, man, when, you know, and so Sister Core, she relates to that kind of immortal type of conception, because death was taught to us by dead people. Mm-hmm. That's all they can teach. That's all dead people can teach you is about dead things.
Yeah. And that's what everything revolves around. I mean, that's what you start to wake up to when you start cleaning yourself up. And it is like any of them movies where all of a sudden it's like the veil is lifted and you're looking around at this place like, this is an insane asylum out here. Dude, that has been framed as normal, abnormality, defining normality.
Do you want to hang out with a bunch of carnivores?
Well, no, obviously I don't, because I don't.
I don't either. So this is what I'm saying. This is what we're faced with as far as it's like we find ourselves in these carnivore circles, and we try to smile and be gracious, and I'm not there no more. I'm not gracious no more. I'm not, you know, I'm willing. I've done it in the middle of something that's totally out of the context. I'll get up and start talking about the mucusless diet.
Mm-hmm.
They might be there for the neighborhood watch or what. I don't
right.
care. Whatever, you know. Mount Auburn's neighborhood watch or Mount Auburn's neighborhood community council meeting. Yes, sir. You have 4 minutes.
Oh yeah. Just getting up and just, you know.
And they just look. They look, but it always happens when you do something like that. It's always one little guy or a little woman afterwards that come over and try to like find out more about like, you know, that was really interesting what you were talking about. I'm like a pest cotillion or whatever the hell they call themselves. Or, you know, and you know, somebody, I just eat fish, and then I do the fish hit. Boom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying. Where I'm at, like I don't have no excuses about being in your company, and I'm not gonna feel uncomfortable. I'm not gonna talk about the Super Bowl. I'm not gonna talk about all these things that, you know, I'm gonna talk about what I want to talk about, some too.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
And it's like when we talk about, you know, the death culture, it's like, okay, look, so it did an experiment. So on the right, horror movies. I mean, you got thousands and thousands and thousands of movies where death is literally the primary focus. Death and the fear and you know, so I'm trying to it's like this, seeing this macabre imagery and all this stuff to like put this kind of vibe through you. And then I've always said, so it's a death culture. Where is the immortality movies? You know, where is the cleanliness and the fruitarian and the breatharian movies? And
we gotta make them.
Yeah, because even in their world, their little, in a death culture world, if I typed in immortality movies, they're still death-based. They're death-based immortality. You're talking about your vampires, people that suck blood.
Right.
The pus, toxic blood of humans. So you're talking about, just the level of sickness of their immortal heroes, the vampires, and so that's what we're dealing with. I you get into all the different religious death rituals, and it's pervasive, and you gotta, and the only way you get to that point where you're thinking like this is you clean yourself up. Then you start looking around like, well, there's nothing for me to watch. Like there's no.
But how many people that we keep saying clean yourself up, and we talking to practitioners, that they really understand what we're talking about. They be like, well, I do my enema every day, brother Air. So, that's not what it's all about. It's like having all these things in place: the enema, the mindset, the intent, having all that in place. Not just I got the book, I'm practicing. It's like you really want to dial in what your reality is gonna be next year. Like I'm headed there. That's I'm going for this. I'm really trying to eliminate and feel, and actually be able to feel what you're going through, so you can elaborate it to others. I can tell you what it was about the peanut butter and the I knew that I had to do that to get to here.
Yeah.
So
talking about the peanut butter and jelly on toast, period.
Yeah, but I knew that I had to do that, even knowing in my head that this is not cool. Physiologically, this is not cool, but I got to do this because I knew what was happening. I knew physiologically something had told me you got to go through this, and if you go through this, you will be rewarded.
Right.
It was like I knew good things, and the next thing I know, and the thing is, you can't even remember not having that craving anymore.
Right.
It's like you don't think like, man, it's been 2 weeks. You just,
once it's gone, it's
just gone. You don't even think about it anymore in terms of what you was eating. That was, and that became, the reason why I bring it up is because that's been something that a lot of practitioners have watched the videos and have really been befuddled by the time that I had spent practicing. And they would say, oh, wow, 10, 15 years in, and that's what you was craving. And they think this thing is a 2-year thing, or 2 years I should be clean. I should be fruits and
greens. Yeah. I'm clean. I see that a lot. People like, oh, I'm clean. I've been doing this for 2 years, and do some enemas, and it's like, it's hard to get that. That's why it's like, that's the kind of thing I'm hoping people are picking up when I show these type of imagery on here. It's not just like a shock and awe thing. It's like to help make that connection, because I don't see enough people, even folks that practice, that really make that connection. Like, people want to do what you were talking about earlier, way before they're ready. And I'm talking about the doing the out of body travels and that kind of consciousness. Like, they want to start there.
But the thing is they relate to the book, like Eric was saying, this and this and this and this at this time, and it's like, really, when we talk about everybody's physiology is different, talk about everybody's imagine Eric probably never seen nobody in the shape that we're in.
Yeah.
He would have probably threw up his hands like, damn.
Been like,
You walked into the sanitarium like, damn, like,
right.
Like, you know what I mean? So the way that we transition is different than the way that Eric was talking about transition. We had to adapt it. And I mean, some of those foods, you can't even get those foods. You know, some of that stuff, you'd be like, ugh, you know, I was like, you know, I mean, that taste bud was completely different, man. The things that they were eating, man, our taste buds are so sugar refined now and processed.
Yeah, well, it's like, you know, like we always say, we got work to do, but and that's the point. It's like, yeah, people, they have a hard time putting into perspective how sick we are,
how really sick we are, and how things have to be adapted to that level of sickness.
Yeah.
So you have Eric as a blueprint and an understanding, but don't believe that 100 years into the future that the elimination is still the same. You know, it's another kind of thing, man. I mean, we talking about folks, you know, dropping dead now. You know, from eating all kind of starches, all kind of encumbered mucus and pus, and the three. I mean, we ain't talking about the 3 meal a day concept. We talking about the 5-6 meal a day.
Meal a day, yeah, yeah.
See, Eric and them was dealing back in the 20s. Dealing with the 3 meal a day catch, you know.
Yeah, before the fast food revolution.
Yeah, you couldn't drive through a drive-through and stick your head in and get a bag. You know, couldn't refrigerate meat.
Right.
So that's where people don't understand how vital herbs were. Herbs were used to keep that rancid smell from the and taste to the old rotten ass meat.
Yeah.
That they would eat.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why meat was only a luxury, especially in the Black rural South. It was a luxury on Sundays. Maybe they'd have some meat.
Mm-hmm.
Different stomachs. Then it comes up north, and they move up north. Cities booming and grocery stores, and their stomachs start to change. Whole different kind of elimination now. Yeah. Eric never witnessed that. You know, he never witnessed that. So you have to adapt some new thinking, and you just gotta live. You gotta live the life. You just can't own the book and think that you know something, because you don't. You just don't know that you don't know. You're just playing in the sandbox. When you live a life and you pick up an infant at 2 weeks with an enema bulb and you stick it in their ass, that's living the life.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's called, the channel is Mucus-free life, not mucus-free diet. Yeah. Mucus-free life.
Mucus-free life.
It's about the life. It's always been about the life and the lifestyle, and doing this is, you know, it's
you got to do this stuff. You can't just talk about or read the book. We want you to read the book, of course, but the life part of it is going to determine whether or not you're going to get across the goal line.
Yeah.
Because when that life kicks in, and here's the decision whether or not you're going to go make money, or do your morning enema, or get married. You see what I'm saying? Because my mate is not into this. You dig? I mean, real life stuff. You know, we'll see. You know, no cooking cakes for the birthday parties.
Yeah, that's always weird.
I mean, people think
somebody be like, "Yeah, I practice Mucusless diet," and then you look and be like, "Why is there a?"
We've seen it over and over again, man. They practice practitioners, and then they're making donuts and I mean, like, you know how we were talking about baking bread, like
Yeah.
How some people we know, they're just obsessed with the perfect loaf, like making the perfect loaf by scratch. And it's like, man, I ain't never had that kind of feeling to do that kind of work, to be in there kneading the bread and oh man, no, I have eaten bread but it's as simple as go buy it and toast it. So yeah.
That's the thing, man. It's just trying to put into perspective the kind of work that we have to do and why this is why I always, encourage everybody, like drop what you're doing and go do this. Like start now. It's like not people trying to wait, like, I don't know, next year, next month, I got
and grow the commitment. Grow the commitment as you do it. Like, I'm really serious. Like, I'm really, really, really serious about it.
Yeah.
And that means you gotta physiologically live it. You gotta like, oh, today I feel like this. Oh, wow, what's going on here? Oh, okay, this, you gotta really get into this thing, man. And so that's what we're gonna be driving home more this year. Is that, man? Don't come into our midst unless you're serious. We ain't playing. We don't want to. We don't want to hear. No remnants of no deaf culture in your voice.
Yeah. I mean, and that's would be. I mean, in your opinion, it's kind of like a Brother Air question. I mean, how do you cultivate that type of hardcore attitude? Is that something that you can cultivate, or you just gotta be born with that? Like, what is that?
I think no, I don't think it's something that you can cultivate like what you're talking about. No, I don't think that you can cultivate it like that. But we can kind of make our environment what we want it to be.
Yeah.
We can demand a certain behavior in our presence.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what I've always talked about, like in terms of when people want to talk about influence and how you influence, like you do what you're doing, like you take it to the highest level you can take the practice of the diet, and when you go around other people, they feel that, like they can't, it becomes undeniable, like whether you talk to them or not, they're feeling like something's different, man, and it's either rubbing them the wrong way or they're attracted to it.
Yeah.
It's like
that's what I
really
think.
Ain't gonna be nothing in between.
I think we need more. I think we need the practice. What I would ask the practitioners to be more vocal in places where they might have not been vocal at with what they're doing. Like, always seize the moment.
Yeah.
To let folks know, I'm doing this. This is what I'm into. Even if it makes the Super Bowl party uncomfortable with all the chicken wings and all the beer and all, what I mean? And say what you say and be what you be at the Super Bowl party. Just let them know. Take a few minutes. Only take a few. I just want to take a few minutes out y'all day before kickoff. And I just want to say this. This is what I'm into. You dig?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's like the
bring the book. Bring the book.
No, that's that for people that get that's that the Kanye mode. Like, I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish.
Exactly. That's what we can take from Kanye lesson. Like, it was something on his mind that he just had to get out at a very crucial moment where, hey, I'm gonna let you finish, but I gotta say this. Now, what he said was some real insignificant bullshit, but but the intent was like, we honor you, Kanye.
Yeah, like everybody listen.
We honor you, and we honor you on the tactic that you took.
Yeah.
And so that is what we're talking about, is at the at places that you know this is just so far away from the context of this place. Just take a minute and say, look, this is what I mean. I just wanted to say that. All right, you sit down, or if you're gonna remain there, and everybody that come to over it, they start looking. Would that cut down your socializing at that event? If it's
but to me, yeah, I mean that's just always, I don't know, that's just like a rites of passage to me, because I've never felt comfortable like that type of comfort that you're talking. I never felt like that anyway.
You don't hang like that. I mean,
no.
I tell you what was a good thing for you to be in the presence of Ryan, because y'all were coming up in this thing together.
Mm.
And that company, because Ryan actually had met me years before.
Yeah.
And had got the book and was trying it for a little while. And so when you got a hold of it, and then Ryan, it rediscovered Ryan, like, oh man, I know about this. Oh,
mm-hmm.
And y'all just got together. I mean, it was like, man, because I'm gonna tell you, the plan of y'all two together was just off the chain.
Mm.
And I think that had a part of it, was physiologically, y'all was on another level with cleansing the blood as well as learning the music,
mm-hmm.
which was an unusual combination. But if you don't think so, then look at the Children of the Sun
mm-hmm.
video and listen to what Spira and Ryan is doing together and separate.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that was something that was supposed to be, well, it was what it was. I mean, it was a recital, but we did a concert. We weren't gonna have a recital vibe. We was like, we earlier that day, we did. I mean, you didn't see it, but we did all the recital crap, and then we got to this section where we were like full blown concert now, like the whole no bar. I mean, boy, we were in war paint. We just lit it up, man. And I'm telling you, the conservatory has never seen a show like that.
Never been the same. Yeah.
Never been the same. And after that, Spira had smooth sailing with his school life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because before that, his professors was coming to me and asking me, like, they didn't know how to get through to this brother. Like, what am I doing? What's this guy? Like I was just like, little did they know that they were getting through to him what they were supposed to get through. That was all they were supposed to get through.
Yeah.
Was what they were getting through. Because we were playing the boards at rehearsal. Everything that was your homework, we was doing all that at rehearsal.
Yeah. Yep.
So it was like, he's getting it. He just ain't like going out for lattes with y'all after.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, the hang.
Chipotles and
the hang is not.
Yeah,
not there. Not that. Not the hang. And
right. Because that's what that whole thing was about. It wasn't about the jazz combo or this. It was about the hang.
Yeah.
So we were everybody in the band was fasting that day, and
yeah.
It was just something, man. Like, it was something. That's the one constant. If you want to see me playing tabla,
yeah, yep.
That's the first and only time you'll see me playing tabla. So,
Yeah. That was as we say, the magic. You get into that fast.
Well, was about 7 months. I was about 7 months at that time.
Yeah.
And you see the difference now, where I'm 7 months. I don't look like that at 7 months now.
Well, so what's different?
I'm still holding a lot more weight at 7 months.
Yeah.
I'm at 3 months. I'm at 3 months now.
Yeah.
And I'm still holding weight.
Oh, and somebody thinks you cut your hair. I guess show them your you just got it back, you know.
Yeah, I just ponytail. Yeah.
Cut his hair. I don't think so.
No, that won't happen. Unless I have to have brain surgery.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully I won't.
Hopefully won't have to.
I don't know. Maybe after this podcast, they might come for me. Lobotomy.
But that's the effort, you know, is trying to bring something. I mean, we trying to manifest something on this planet that there's gonna be a lot of resistance, and there is a lot of resistance because filthy wants to stay filthy.
Yes.
The constipation is running the show, and so
it's creating so much obstruction so that those who want to clean themselves up, it makes it harder because there's so much obstruction, impediments being put forth, that we should have a place where we can, you know how they used to have the steam baths. We should have the enema baths, or where we could go just sit around and do enemas.
Public enema baths.
Public enemas.
I like that's the one thing I do like private. I like my enema.
Well, I mean, you private. You can be private, but then you can step into the 130.
Well, or like, would that be?
You know, get out all that. You know, you got all the waste out your right now. Get all that waste out your cells and your skin. And, you know, I mean, we just need. You know, I mean, it still be private, of course. I don't want to do it. Wait a minute. How can you be talking about you want private, you do it enemas in Starbucks? Kind of.
Well, but that's not it. That's not all the time.
I want to be private. Excuse me, is somebody in here? I mean, can you imagine how many people came to the bathroom during Starbucks and you in there trying to do an enema? Get out of here talking about you want to be private. No, you don't want to be private. No, you don't. You know.
Well, I
you can pull that. I want to be private. No. In a Starbucks? No, I don't think so. But I think that'll be the long lasting. The most. I think that's the trivia for our community, is the most unlikely place that an enema has been done. I think you're gonna live with that one for a while. I don't think nobody is gonna top that one. And then he came to me and just looked at me and said, "All right, man, you can go. Looked at him like, Negro, you out your mind. I ain't doing that. I like to do my enema, but I ain't that pressed, you know." He's like, "Yeah, man, it's open now." He said, "You can go on in." I just looked at him like, this dude is tripping, you know. So
I mean, in the whole process, the whole travel, and that's all refined now. You know, now we got vans and
and all
kinds of little, you know.
But we had to do it like that to learn. We had to do it like
that. Yeah, that was the early days.
Cleanse by any means necessary.
Any means necessary. Yep. You know, and so that's what we're talking. It's an attitude. I mean, that would be sort of my contribution to like what we're talking about is cultivating this attitude.
Yeah.
And and then letting that, you know, however, whatever comes first, like that. Does the attitude come first and then the action comes out of the attitude, or the action first and the attitude, you know, I don't know. It's probably different for each person, you know, but one of those, you know, it's like because you can work on the attitude. Just, you know, I know when folks talk about watching a lot of these videos and just really plugging in on that level where it's like just kind of through telepathy get a little bit of that attitude, you know, and then but then you gotta take action on it. And because yeah, just, you know, reading the book without taking action, like I said, like folks is like, yeah, I got the book. Well, I don't know how many people I met over the years that have read the book in the 70s. You know, a lot of people read the book, like I hear they read the book in the 60s or 70s, and they're like, yeah, I read it back then. And the one thing that they always say is, I wish I would have stuck with it. Like, I wish I would have did it and I stuck with it back then. And so that's, and then, and for me, that was, I'm saying it here, but like I was young cat really trying to figure this thing out. So that was like wisdom. I'm getting like, oh, okay. You know, it's like, here's, because I've got, you know, talking to Brother Air and Tekoa, but then I'm also talking to people that tried to get into the diet and then stopped. And so, and I'm getting them messages from them. So I'm getting all that in, like, okay, I see that there's something to be learned here. You know, it's like,
man. Because it's not something to easily commit to. It didn't take me long to commit. I think maybe a couple of weeks. I think I went down the road. I was just so fascinated with reading the information. I was like, wow, this is, because I've been reading everything else, from Alaya Africa to 21st century to Dick Gregory. I mean, I was just everything I could get my hands on. And that was something. I was like, now this mucus, like, wow, that now we talking.
Yeah.
Good for nothing. Like that word, good for nothing. Mucus. That's what got me to, like, you know, it was using that word mucus. I was like, oh man, that's good for nothing. You know, that's like, we got that in us. So I went down. It only took me a couple of weeks, and then I had completely transformed my life and told folks that I wasn't working and trying to do a few gigs and emptied out of things that I had going on. And I was like getting rid of this and that. And oh man, it was like, hey, you know, you want this fish and in the freezer, or, you know, come over, and, you know. So I was just like taking inventory and getting real serious, man. And it didn't take me long to transform my life, man. Like I was all in by probably 3 or 4 months. People wasn't even recognizing me in terms of my attitude about what I was doing. You couldn't just call me up for gigs, and I was getting a lot of calls to do gigs. I just wasn't answering. I even had an answering service. Yeah, you know, like the lady who take, you know.
Yeah.
I was getting. I was like, really.
Well, I mean, you would have, because, you know, we were talking about, like I turned down academia jobs and, you know, that whole thing. I mean, you turned down being one, you know, the young lions in the jazz world. You know, you'd be, you know, people be talking about, you know, Willie Smart, you know, you're the Willie Smart album, you know, who is he playing with? He's like, oh man, yeah, he was playing with Earth Wind for a couple years, and then he went and started his own quintet, and, you know, it's like that's how people be talking about you, you know. And that kind of thing. And so
but that's what I'm talking about, the life, living the life.
Yeah.
Those are those life,
giving things up.
You know, and those who can do with the least. And a lot of folks don't get that, because what they will try to do is rationalize those kind of opportunities coming up, and they'll rationalize them and say that they can do it You know, well, okay, the favorite quote is that everybody uses is that you get in it and then you get involved, and then once you in it, then you can start making decisions on how you want to do things. Nobody never makes decisions on how they want to do things once they get in it. Once they get in it, they try to stay in it.
Mm-hmm.
And they do everything they have to do to stay in it because it's that kind of world. It's like a scratching, like the crabs in the barrel thing. Mm-hmm. And so it was just like I seen some of our friends who have went to the West Coast, and they were having a discussion with somebody who actually lives up there in Columbus now. And they were having a discussion from the West Coast, and he's been very successful doing a lot of things. And man, listening to them two talk was like listening to kindergartners. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was like, this is, it's like, boy, did nobody try to stop him when he was here in the Midwest and telling him about them monsters. Mm-hmm. You dig? And so that was kind of interesting. And as soon as I got on there, I put my name on there and I said, hey, I think I said, clean that ass or something. And so one of the cats said, oh, Willie Smart is over here. He has like a diet book or something that he wrote or something. And the other one who was out in California said, oh, I'm getting nervous. He's like, oh, I'm getting nervous. And they didn't say nothing no more about it. And they wasn't even going to address me or even say nothing more. They just see it. It's like, oh, I'm getting nervous. They know how.
Well, speaking of Dick Gregory, remember when I met him?
Yeah.
And he got nervous.
Yeah.
Because he saw what I was holding in my hand. We walked up after it, and we was, kind of this group of cats, young cats, kind of talking to him, and he was.
My wife was with you.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And he was talking about his timepiece and this watch and time travel and that kind of stuff. And I held the book up like, well, what about this? And he was just kind of like, oh, well, no, I mean, they're not ready for that. No, he just looked, because he knew what he was doing was just not cool in terms of, I mean, he was there. They was selling some candy bar that's supposed to help remove
heart
bar. It was called a heart bar.
Heart bar.
And so I was just kind of like, what's up? I just watched it. I think I haven't finished it, but there's a documentary out on Dick Gregory. That's I think it's on Prime or one of those. And
okay.
It's pretty good. Yeah. It's interesting, for me to kind of get seeing details that I didn't know about, just in his career and really a lot.
Dick was we all come out of Dick.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a fact. So
yeah,
no matter how he ended up.
Yeah, later in life, there was.
But we all come out of Dick. He was a dynamic cat, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, in the times that he was coming up or the things that he had to deal with. That's why I don't cringe or because the things that he was dealing with would make me cringe.
Right.
So I don't have no problem getting in your face.
Right.
Now, I don't have no problem with making you feel uncomfortable or whatever, because I know what the shoulders that I stand on, mm-hmm. Man, it's like we gotta really be those the people who stand on their shoulders and really represent and put ourselves back together in a serious manner. Somebody just was asking me about my celibacy at 12 years that I went. Mm-hmm. And I would have did 15 years. I would have did 20 years. Mm-hmm. If I would have ran in this, you know what I mean? It wasn't like I was trying to be a unit, but I was cleaning myself up. And when you cleaning yourself up, you're not so much thinking about sex that doesn't go anywhere, or doesn't do anything, or doesn't have any kind of purpose. It's just recreational. I was so tuned in to, like, can I do this? I'm not gonna self-pleasure myself. It's kind of like I pity, for the woman, it was kind of like I pity the woman that I run into. It was that kind of thing. Like 12 years, okay, I'm good. So I was really taking pride in that, and it worked out like I wanted it to, because I wanted my whole vision or reality that I was trying to live was I wanted a son, and I wanted to be with a wife, and I was for 20 years. So it worked, to that, but life as we know, physiology and reality will throw you some things that, the left hooks will come.
Well, and that's we were talking about that karma earlier. It's like sometimes it's almost like the kind of karma that we go through is it might not be the pit bull, out in the woods, or the bear mauling, but it's like it's usually, it's like blood related, it's that with the family connections and the and relationships and all that kind of stuff is, it can be something.
Yeah.
And
but that was a time, man, where I was really testing myself, because think of sex in the society. That's a test. That's really like a grow up thing. Like, are you really ready to grow up and put that in the right context? For me, it was everything, man. To put that in the right context. I was real proud of. I was probably some of the most. When you talk about the fasting and all of that, and that's cool. But that was something that I was really proud of. That I had, as well as a physiological change. That was something that I was really proud of, that I could sustain that, and grow up, and really took it into life, where I'm just not laying down with anybody, that's just not gonna happen, so.
Yeah. I just watched this for people that seen that movie, Idiocracy. I finally watched it. I'd never really watched that, but yeah, it's basically in this movie. It's like this dystopian future where the dumbest pus eaters on the planet, basically, they continue to just have crazy amount of babies. And so it was like the degeneracy just got so intense, and the people that had a little bit of intelligence weren't having they weren't having babies. They're like, oh, well, this world's too messed up for us to reproduce in, which is rational thought to have. But the problem was they were like dying out, and all these the insane people were taking over, and and people often say that they're like, man, we living in this idiocracy type of reality, and that's
what it is. It's sex and recreation. Go down on Main Street, or you go down on High Street and just drive by the bars and see how many of those folks are going to end up having worthless sex.
Yeah, well, that's the mating traditions.
Yeah,
the mating rituals.
Like, I don't even know who you are the next day.
Yeah, that's how they like it. That's it.
And for the practitioners to really hone in on that attitude, if they had that attitude, if they come from that world.
Yeah.
To think about it, like how constipated, how filthy you are. the work that you have to do. You know, it's like my son, he say, I'll go up under that bridge, you know. Choose a bridge, you know. Choose a bridge if that's where you gotta takes that, you know, to do the work, you know, like the sacrifice, you know. It's like choose your bridge.
Yeah.
Choose your bridge, man. So yeah, man.
Yeah, here's this, so people want to see more about that, then look this video up. This was when you was on this TV whatever this was, the TV show, on celibacy, Mucusless Diet, and Developing a Genius.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, that, and this is just
about 15 years ago, 20 years ago, something like that.
Almost 20, yeah, about 18, maybe 19, yeah.
Because
this was early
panel of men, right?
Yeah, it was like this men's panel, and because this was early on, like I was and I called in and talked, you know, like. And
did you? Okay.
Yeah, I remember. I don't even know if I have that clip up here, but it might be up here. But there's a couple clips from this, and I had to go through the archives.
You going way back, man.
Yeah, this is.
I actually seen that up in the bedroom. That up under that.
What's that?
That dashiki I had on.
I
actually just read it.
Yeah. Was that the mud cloth? Was that
mud cloth?
Yeah. I remember. The mud cloth era.
People ask me that about, because you wear all the the dashikis and stuff.
Yeah. And
they were asking me did I ever do that. And I was like, yeah, I used to do it. I said, but he kind of took it for his thing. I stopped doing it, you know. So he kind of took it over, you know, and I was like, well, I'll stop doing it, because he got really serious about it, you know. So I just stopped doing it, you know. So,
but yeah, that's
that goes way back.
Yeah, man. I
was on a panel with some guys, some real provincial,
man,
with some real provincial guys, boy, and I was just like firing it up, boy.
Yeah, they're over there trying to talk about, you know, what the young people need is, you know, we need better education and housing, and and all this kind of like, you know, a chicken in every pot type of discussion, and you just in there just like from another planet.
Even the host was getting fired up.
Yeah. She's how long you fast? I'd be chicken fried crazy. And you was like, nah, you'd be chicken fried dead if you. Like if I did that, because you was like months into a fast. I think this might have been the first fast.
Yeah,
I think that was the first long one. Because this was this is the one that turned into the 8.5 month.
Okay.
I think. And then
that might have been.
Yeah, I think this was the first one. And because
everybody in that studio was looking at me like I was just 24 karat crazy. I mean, they were just, because I was coming from such a place that they just, nothing sounded familiar to them. I mean, you know what I mean? It was just like, where is it? And I remember one of the stage hands who were coming into that little studio to help her as a volunteer, I guess. And I just remember as I was over there talking with the guys, like, you know, we were headed out. Everybody was, and he looked there. He said, "Man, where you find him at?"
Yeah, right.
Where you find him at? God damn.
Let's see. Reese said, he's like, dang, I was only 2 years old when y'all did that video. I remember seeing the video a couple years ago.
We've been into this thing for a while, Reese. I mean, that's why I'm really concentrating on living it, like to, you know, because you can get on the internet, man, and you have all these experts who've been like 4 years, 3 years. They're like experts now.
Oh,
They have coaching.
Yeah, they got programs,
doing consultations.
Yeah.
And they, you know, how long you been to? 3 years? Be like, okay. So, you know, but yeah, that's why I'm emphasizing, like, to live a life. Like I say, when when you have an infant and you 2 weeks in and you give them an enema bug, that's living life. That's like the change of the culture.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a blueprint in front of me. You dig what I'm saying? I'm just doing what I'm inspired by what I've done at that point. As far as cleaning my blood, I'm inspired to cleanse this little one.
Right.
And I'm thinking, oh, well, a little water, lemon, that won't hurt him up his butt, you know. I didn't do it every day.
Mm.
But Tekoa tells the story about him coming up to her in a crowded. They were down on the squares, and the square is like the middle of Cincinnati. That's where everybody gathers if it's a big event, where the Reds, if the baseball team, or whatever. So Hadif rolls up on her, Tekoa. He said, what? He said, man, I did my first enema by myself. He said, I did my enema by myself for the first time.
Mm.
And she said she just cracked up because everybody heard it, and it was like,
right.
Like he's like 4 years old or 5 years old. He's so happy that he did his first enema. But the point is, this is how the culture has to change. You have to tightrope walk without a net, and you have to. Well, I love my child. Oh, I couldn't do that. Well, I could. That's the kind of love I have for my child. Is that if it's good enough for me, it's good enough for him. I didn't have to read that nowhere. I didn't have to, look in this pamphlet and say, okay, if I do this or do that, and okay. No, I feel like if I can do lemon enemas, he can do a lemon enema.
This was, speaking of that, this just happened to come up. I did a search. Don't be afraid to give your child an enema. And then there's this this picture.
Okay.
Like,
how the times change.
Really work. The poop lump is breaking up. That's funny.
Be a hell of a cartoon, wouldn't it?
Yeah, like that. That's a like a Osmosis Jones enema. The Enema Chronicles. But yeah. I mean, so it's little bits of consciousness are are coming more so than back in the day when it was just nothing.
It's something that we do this thing and you just think back, and it was wonderful to have Tekoa on for a little bit. I mean, just all of us, it's like it was just like, here it is. Here are the ones. Here are the ones who are the folks like the astronaut who stabbed the flag in the moon.
Mm.
This is us. We're putting down that torch.
Yeah.
And we're digging in, and we're saying things are going to change, whether or not you like it or not. Things are going to change, and things are going to change because we're not afraid.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that fear, and we're going to commit to wearing people out with it now. That's 2022, wearing people out with it. Like now, just be annoying. Be like, I'm not inviting Reese to this little get together. I'm just annoyed at that Mucusless Diet talk he always talk. Fine. Keep me away for that reason. I'll love it.
Yeah.
If that's the reason you keeping me away, beautiful. Because I've done my job. Because at least you remembered the Mucusless Diet Healing System. Some way, it might be negative, but at least you remember it.
Right.
Let's wear them out. Let's wear them out this year, man. Let's wear them out.
Yeah. It's about that time, it's like I said, the turning of the tide. What's going to happen? There's going to be this separation, and there's not going to be a lot of middle ground. It's going to be those of us over here that's got the consciousness, trying to clean ourselves up, trying to go down this path, and then you're going to get the most sick and depraved, and just the level of filth is going to be on a whole other level on the other side.
Right.
And it's gonna, man versus food and all them TV shows ain't gonna be nothing on on what we're gonna see. I mean, just an insane amount of just real. I mean, we think we know what filthy is now, and looking at stuff, it's gonna get real. It's gonna worse on that side. It's gonna get better on this side. It's gonna get worse on that side.
Our show up against man versus what? What'd you say? Man
versus pus. man
versus
death.
man versus death.
Yeah, man.
That's what our show.
Yeah.
Like, because we coming after you. We will, maybe it'll come down to the TAF or something. We could set up a protest.
Man versus, because here I can't show these videos anymore, but I used to like to show these, but the images will have to do. But this is all, I mean, just normality. Like if we would get have millions and millions of views if this is what we were about.
That's something. And I went and seen like some of those channels, man, and they got what's the guy's name? The little Oriental guy. He just goes around eating food. He got like
a YouTube channel.
Yeah, he got like millions of hits.
Yeah, I think I did. I talked about it. Somebody had to tell us in the chat. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, but it's like billions and billions of hits.
Yeah.
And all he do is just go around eating food, eating the most disgusting food.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that shows you where the culture is.
Yeah.
Where death is being elevated on the highest level.
Right. So
I don't have no problem with talking about life now. I have no problem. I have no problem. I'm just all in. I'm all in. I'm gonna annoy you. I'm gonna be in the practitioners' asses now.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all gonna hate to be around me every day. Be like, damn, why did I come to every day? Brother Aaron just getting on my nerves, like I'm gonna be like all you cats, man. Don't be playing no game. Don't be playing, because look at what we have at stake, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we need a life culture. We need a culture.
Yeah.
We need to have the young people coming into something, not just over and over, just repetitive, just deaf culture. So now people are passing at 50 and 60.
Yeah.
So now what we're gonna see in the next
and looking up at the heavens, saying, "Woe is me! Why? God? Why?
Yeah.
What did we do wrong?"
Yeah. And you know how what I always say at the end of my lectures is, sooner or later, willingly or unwillingly, you're gonna stop eating.
Stop eating. Yeah.
You gotta stop eating. What do we asked? I think people know now. What's the forced fast? I guess somebody could answer there in the chat. What's a forced fast? I know somebody know this by now.
Yeah, the forced fast. Yeah.
Let's see if Reese.
Yeah.
Reese
what's a forced fast?
What's a forced fast? So yeah, man. I wish the core internet would have worked. I would have loved to have her chopping it up with us.
Yeah. We, they out there in the country with the spotty internet.
Yeah. What would they have to do? Just get an internet provider out there to get it hooked up? Or?
I don't know. It depends on where they at.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got some answers. So
okay.
So the Kyrene's answer is sleeping is a forced fast, and then Reese's answer is death. Then he amended it, say death and sleeping.
Yeah. Okay. Both of those are.
Yeah. It's like both of those are correct.
But the last with death is the ultimate.
The ultimate forced fast.
Yeah, you're not waking back up from this one.
Yeah.
And like I say, you're gonna stop eating sooner or later, willingly or unwillingly. You're gonna stop eating. So here we are trying to beg you to stop eating and just control what you're putting in your mouth and da. But if you want it that way, nature will deal with your ass.
Yeah. I mean, because until it's like people want to get into, like we talk about it must be deep and all this, it's so heavy and deep and wow, they're so intelligent. If you can't make the connection between what's on the left side of this and the right side, you are not conscious.
Right.
You are not conscious. So I don't want to hear nothing because half these people that and people give them so much respect, like, oh, they're so brilliant and just they sound so good when they talk. I don't really know what they're saying, but it just sounds real deep. And they don't have the first little bit of this because this is like real consciousness. If you aren't making the connection between this on the left,
remember we were talking about the gurus out there with the what did you call them, the divine, the frequency, and
it's like this little language, the consciousness language,
the consciousness language. So you say enough of those words in a segment and people think you're deep and that you meant something, but it's the divine spirit of the God light,
the goddess, like goddessism.
Breath.
That was what it, like goddessism. And the liberty of the divine source of the,
so that has a lot to do with internet static. I call it static. That gets people on this, gets people interested. Is you can feed them that. We talked about the early young buck guru just practiced something for 4 years and they're experts at healing the world. And so we got
and then what else is happening that's always happened as long as we've been around, but a lot of these people, they'll be the most hardcore, just come out after a couple years and veganism and raw food and fruitarian and fruit and fasting and then out of nowhere here comes a post like why I'm no longer vegan. Like they sitting up there like it's a hostage video, like they really feel like they have to share, like they're doing their community a service by just literally overnight it goes from all this fruit and vegetables and blah blah blah, and then like a big chunk of meat or raw meat. I'm doing this raw. I wasn't getting enough nutrients and
that's what gets me. That's what gets me is that no matter. I mean, I always ask you about like, man, how could you get to a feeling like I'm feeling so bad? I'm just feeling so bad. You know what? A piece of raw meat might do it.
Mm-hmm.
Where you get that idea from? Like,
a
piece of raw meat might make me feel better. You never eaten raw meat before, but for some reason you think that a piece of raw meat would make you feel better.
Yeah.
It blows my mind, man, that it could be to that extent that we heard somebody on the meetup talk about swishing urine around his mouth and that helped his pain. So piss mouth, piss mouth. If you have pain, oral problems, drink a cup of urine.
Piss in a cup.
Piss in a cup. Swish it around, and you'll be all right. Amazing pain relief.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I mean, We got any questions out there? Anybody want to ask anything or contribute something? Tell us something. I mean, we don't have to answer. You can tell us, educate us. Educate us. Tell us something. I know y'all out there.
They say this the longest tapeworm ever removed from a person. I don't know. I've seen some pretty longer, about as long as that.
Yeah, I see some long ones too.
Longer than that.
Yeah, I see some long ones.
But this is the life folks want to lead, boy. The tapeworm, pinworm lifestyle.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's
they want to eat this.
That's all in a part of the gold watch at the end of 30 years. That's all a part of that.
Yeah.
All a part of that.
Yep.
The gold watch and the plaque and little retirement party, and you're set.
Yeah. Just roll you in the wheelchair and and get you your oxygen mask and
the walker first
stuff, and
you gotta go through a year of the walker.
Well, if you're lucky.
Well, yeah.
No.
If
you're lucky, you can.
You're one of the lucky ones. You're on the walker. You're doing great.
Yeah. I mean, for real.
The Walker Olympics. I'm competing in the Walker Olympics, man. I'm doing fine. Be like, wow, for real? They'd be like, yeah, in the Walker Olympics. Come out and see us. It's fun. They got a food truck and everything. Like, wow, okay. So, that's,
I mean, that's how we walk into some place like this and we just start yell, what is wrong with you people?
Isn't that
you can't have no conversation over it,
Isn't that how they do those folks that are obsessed with people having the mask on? They start hollering at people and being obsessive,
Yeah, right.
Why can't we? Man?
And why can't we? Yeah, the mask. Put on your mask. Like the one, those old. I think that was New York. He was like the old women that was trying to attack the young brother. They were like, literally hit him. And and instead of saying the N-word, they said they called him Black Lives Matter. Like, get out of the elevator, Black Lives Matter.
What he said, I can't call you what I want to call you.
I can't call you what I really want to. So that's the new code. We're gonna use Black Lives Matter as that's the new term for that. And
we say bacon and eggs. So that's the hidden bacon and eggs. That's how they really feel about us. They don't want to. They don't want to. They don't want to.
Yeah, all I want to say is that they don't really
care about us.
Yeah. I mean, because that's like what you're saying. I mean, how we can't have. I mean, who can you? That's why I just gave up. Like, who can you talk to?
Nobody.
Anybody that's into this mainstream society that thinks it's normal to watch a television show, a whole show, like series of show about 600-pound folks.
It's entertaining. It's entertaining.
And that are like, okay, we want y'all to lose a little bit of weight so that we can do surgery on you.
It's entertaining.
We can't do surgery yet. We gotta. Once you lose enough weight, we'll do surgery on you. And I mean, it's
entertaining, man. It's nothing like seeing an obese person trying to get through a doorway and don't let her fall. Oh man, that's entertaining, man. They watch her fall or him fall and they holler encore.
Yeah,
that's the kind of audience they have.
But it's like I said, so this is okay. This is perfectly fine. But they took down my video, this video off of YouTube. They said that it was wrong. It says that we're trying to keep our community safe. It literally says that. That's the term. They're like, your video was basically a dangerous video. We're trying to do our best to keep keep everybody safe on the platform.
I would sure like to be in the same room with like set up a mucusless lunch with these YouTube executives. Be like, hey, come over and socialize with your public. We're big YouTube fans, and just see who would show up. Because they making these decisions. I'd love to see what kind of personalities that they have. Bunch of, like I say, I think
it's no longer is now it's not YouTube anymore. It's corporate tube.
Well, I mean, I'm saying the ones who are running it, I've named it the revenge of the nerds. When you look at Gates and Fauci, that's the revenge of the nerds, man. They get back. They get back at all the folks who locked them in the locker rooms and did all the little pranks on them, and now they're getting back.
Yeah.
Revenge of the nerds. Reality, the reality show. Real reality. Like where is Gates gonna come off doing interviews years ago, man? You remember we were talking about it on the Immortality Pipeline radio show.
Yeah.
See, he was talking about population control. Where does he come off having any right to talk about population control with his old nasty behind? Like, who you gonna take out, Bill? Is it gonna be you and your family? Y'all ready to sacrifice y'all life for population? If you think it's too many people here? So I think me and Spira kind of agreed that we're not really that against population control. I mean, there's a way that they're gonna do it. We're just talking about.
Well, I mean, the universe and just the laws of Mother Nature are going to prevail.
Yeah,
like we don't have to do like we always say, get out the way and let the universe do what it's gonna do. That's the meditation, is getting out of the way, and which is part of that. Like when you say you giving up those addictions that you have to hanging out with all these people and to going to the clubs and to doing all that kind of stuff.
That's a part of the mastery that you always talk about.
Yeah.
Is learning how to get out of the way. What do you do? What do you mean get out of the way? What do you mean? I mean that whole art of getting out of the way. It's an art to it.
Yeah. Yep.
It's an art to it, and not. It's an art to learning how to get out of the way and create a little havoc without getting sent to the fifth floor. You know what I mean? It's like there's an art to that. There's an art where they won't send you to the psych ward, because they will.
Yeah. You
will have your family members admit you. If you start talking about, well, I'm fasting, or I'm just eating watermelon, you'll have your family members will call people, will call authorities and say, well, he's not eating anything dead anymore.
Right.
That's unusual. What? He's not eating anything dead. What's your address? Phone number. Okay. We'll be over there.
We'll come over there.
Man, they'll rush
over there. Oh yeah, they'll put a feeding tube up in you.
Oh man.
They'll arrest you.
Right,
this is for your protection.
To you, sir. When was the last time you had a hot dog, sir? I'm not eating meat no more. I'm vegetarian.
Put your hands behind your back.
But sir, you need protein, sir. You need some kind of protein. Well, I'm here. Everything's cool. I'm cool. Well, sir, we don't think that you're cool. We think that you need protein, and we want to help you. So we're gonna we want you to come with us. Well, no, I don't want to come with y'all. Get out of here. Sir, don't make us, Jerry, grab the straight jacket. Jacket. You know, and now they're up here battling, and they 3 people on him and the reason why is because he hasn't eaten a hamburger in 2 months.
Yep.
So they feel justified with putting him in a straitjacket and taking him to the 5th floor, you dig, and doing all this therapy and running drips and whatever it is, and then doing all this and then running him through the site, psychoanalyzing him. Well, okay, why is it that you don't want to eat meat, sir? Well, because I want to live longer, and I've noticed that everybody that have a heart attack and a stroke eats meat. And so I can't name one person who had a stroke or a heart attack who was eating meat, who was eating fruits and green leafy plants. Oh my God, that actually made sense to the therapist.
Mm-hmm.
But they rejected. Oh well, but you know you have to have some protein, sir. Why? I'm all right. I was just in the house playing Yahtzee, and all of a sudden they come through the door, and I find myself here, talking to you about why I don't want to eat hot dogs anymore. So that's how serious this thing is. Oh, yeah. And I hope that you don't run into it in your practice, but I'm telling you, people I know have ran into that.
Yeah. Well, or even
I mean, I kind of dramatize it to make it funny, but that's reality.
Well, even worse, coming in and taking your child for that reason.
Don't even get us started. Don't even get us started with that now. I mean, that's real.
Yeah, I mean, you're dealing with it's like you first just have to understand, like, okay, you're dealing with evil. Well, what does that mean? Like, what is, people throw that word around, it's like evil, it's like you talk. For me, I just relate evil to that just
ignorance,
uneliminated fecal matter and just straight constipation,
profound
tapeworms, pinworms.
Yeah.
I mean, that's that, because what ends up happening is you have all these people that when they're young and and that's the reason why so many people, when you get older, and then there's a segment of like older folks that get this, they kind of get this wisdom, but and as Vic used to talk about this, where it was like, you get a situation where people have eaten themselves in a position to where their vitality is gone. So all of a sudden, like if they had that vitality, would they be sitting there contemplating mortality and higher thinking and being gentle and sort of, they were forced into that. Mother Nature forced them into a weak position. And so now we're like, oh, well, now you want to be loving and all this kind of stuff. And well, shit, 30 years ago, you weren't that soft and loving as you were hanging somebody up by their neck on a tree or whatever you were into back then, or getting it, jumping people and bullying people and raping people or whatever you were into. Oh, now they're so and look at what they do with like they're doing that with like the Bill Cosby and all these different these old folks in there. The lawyers are like, let's make them look really, really bad, like worse than they really are. Like, I don't know, but I've seen a few of them. The Weinstein, they think he did at him. They bring him out on like a walker.
They find the worst picture. They just go through pictures like.
Yeah. Well, no, but like when they're going to court, they dress them up like they're all, and they're like, okay, look, you gotta act your ass off right now. You gotta act like you can barely walk. We're gonna roll you in, like we'll put you in the wheelchair. Have some slobber coming down the side of your mouth as you being rolled in, like just because that look of that makes people just kind of go,
don't wash your face. That's a nice touch. Don't wash your face.
Yeah, don't wash your face, you know. But that's something to think about. Is like, you know, a lot of older folks, it's like, do they change because that wisdom is really coming forth, or are they change because Mother Nature has forced? It's like it's like literally like putting you in timeout. Like Mother Nature just puts you in timeout. Like, get over there in the corner.
Yeah.
You've been over here breaking all my rules and doing all this. Get in the corner, lay in that bed, and think about what you've done.
Well, think about the next step, which is death. So what do they always say at funerals? He's going home. He's in peace.
Yeah.
Now, do you believe if you trash yourself here, do you believe you going on to something better?
Right.
1 + 1 is what? 18?
Right.
So, you know, it's bizarre world, man. And like I say, man, 2022 is we gotta just really be ourselves and not be afraid to talk about healing and ways that people should be things that they should be considering doing. Everybody should be considering stop eating meat, stop eating dairy.
Yeah.
Let's start there.
Start there.
Let's start there.
Yes.
We can talk about transition. You know, we can get into that, but get that meat and that dairy out of your system. Because the one thing that you can't deny, even all the little gurus who try to have all this, I'm selling this, selling these herbs and these detoxes and look, you can't deny that there's nobody having strokes and heart attacks who's eating fruits and green leafy plants.
Yeah.
You just can't. You just flat don't say, well, they're eating juice. They're eating fruits and they're eating
for extended. The way I had to add for extended periods of time.
Yeah, I'm just what I'm saying is let's start there with what you put in your mouth, because what they are trying to always do is sell they detox crap. So, you know, I got to come up with a detox cleanser.
Right. Well, that'd be like, you know, the brother heirs, you know, lifetime, you know, instead of like the, you know, 12-day cleanse, it'd be like the lifetime cleanse. It'd have, you know, an enema bag in it, a juicer,
big bag of lemons.
Come with a big bag of lemons
and a John Coltrane album.
Live in Japan album.
Some incense, you know, and just a whole kind of a piece of, you know. So yeah, man. I mean, that's what we have to be on these little gurus trying to push, you know, because I know they're trying to make a lot of money, man, on all this crap. And that, you know, I mean, nothing beats eating apples, eating strawberries, eating some red leaf lettuce. Let's start there first. You know, let's start with food. That's all I'm saying is let's start with food.
Start with food first.
And then if we got to go into the herbs, I can, you know, I can like, okay, you know, I might can see it. But the thing is they don't want to start with food. They want to sell. They want to sell.
Yeah.
And so that's when people will be like, hey, brother, you don't like herbs. It's not that I don't like the herbs and stuff. I used to drink the little teas, just trying to learn about health and stuff like that growing up. And I went through all that and the bulk, and and I'm like, you know, and then I was like, well, maybe I need to just concentrate on food. You dig? And so me concentrating on food has gotten me farther than most of those folks that use the herbs.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough, because people are oriented since childhood to be into the drugs, you know, the medication.
So yeah, I mean, another
so you
drug.
just go from
you
know, the over-the-counter medication,
from the antibiotics to the herbs.
Yeah.
So it works like that. I'll exchange it, and that's exactly what the vitamin and the herb field has done. They have become what they've replaced with the antibiotics. They have become the same thing that they were trying to rail against.
Mm-hmm.
They have become that, and they have not healed. More people are dying than ever. And I'm not saying because of herbs. What I'm saying is that your presence has not made it better.
Mm.
Your presence has not made it better.
Mm.
So what I'm saying is what has not been given a chance is let's try
the food. Yeah.
Let's try to change the food. I don't have a problem with the herbs. You know, like later on, or hey man, take this to kind of stimulate this to help with the elimination. What? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I don't, but I'm saying let's start with the food. That's where I'm at. That's what I've done. I don't deal with herbs because I don't have to. A greater elimination happens with me when I eat a piece of watermelon.
Mm. Yep.
I mean, I can't do no better than that. You see, so yeah, well, I always have railed about and I've taken the hits inside of the Mucusless Diet family, about talking about the herbs. But my thing has not been so much about the herbs. It's like y'all want to start off with that from the rip.
Yeah, it's a mentality. Yeah, starting off immediately with putting all your hopes and dreams into the herbs. Is like, well, you don't know anything about the transition yet. You haven't even tried to start a transition.
Yeah, give it a chance. Give it a shot.
I mean, there's so much that can be done with the foods, with the fasting methods, just with the base, with the enemas, like just with the sort of that, and that's what folks aren't really maximizing what you can get out of that. First,
they love to do the drugs. Everybody want to get high. That's what I always say. Everybody want to get high. So give me some herbs, pop me up. Wow, that's okay. And then they'll use the herbs as it healed something. I took this every day for 3 months. It healed my so and so. Be like, you really believe that it actually heals something?
I mean, well, people don't study what to understand the mechanics of healing. So I mean, you can't.
I know.
And but that's the same song that Eric was talking about, where people would, go on a milk, like a milk fast or something, and be like, wow, this milk healed me. It's like, no, you stopped eating dead animal flesh for a few days, and then it's like, yeah, you're drinking pus, but it was better than what you were doing before. Imagine how much better it would have been if you'd have just drank juice, but that's just the lack of consciousness and people not knowing how their bodies operate. So you can't have, it's like, those are hard conversations to try to have with them people. Because,
Yeah, man, it's like that. So, I mean, so we are the whistleblowers, I guess. We are the ones that pose to be the ones that's out here trying to even get the holistic and naturopathic groups and people to get their shit together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, come on, man, stop trying to make all this money on people. Sabi, I was looking at a film with Sabi. People were visiting the Usha village, and there was this lady walking around. Every 2 hours, she's taking people's blood pressure.
Mm.
But if you could have seen this woman, she looked like she was the most unhealthy woman you ever wanted to see.
Mm.
And she was the woman in charge of the visitors. I was like, wow, more of the bizarre world. So when I seen that, and it looked like they've gotten some funds, and they've They remodeled the place.
Okay.
It really looks modern and really nice. So what I decided to do is that's on my radar now, as I'm waiting for the sale signs to go up. So that could possibly be the ex Usha Village becomes Eric Village. Already in place with little cabins and little, it's just waiting on us. if we want to move to Honduras, but Yeah,
well, I mean, we got some plans, we got some, that's those plans that we can't talk about yet.
Right.
We might be able to reveal some of it at Air Day celebration, which we should probably announce in case people haven't heard. We are confirmed for July 30th and 31st at here in the Columbus, Ohio, at a particular events space. And
can you name the space?
It's Wild Goose Collective is the name of the space.
Wild Goose Collective. I keep saying Wild Goose Gallery, but it's collective.
Well, yeah, it's just the name of the name of the organization. But yeah, that's going down. So we're locked in because everybody's asking about the date and all this kind of stuff. So that's locked in. I'm looking to start. We'll probably do our annual fundraiser the first part of April, and then we'll have the early bird tickets will go on sale the last couple weeks of April. And definitely encourage, get the funds ready so that you can jump on them tickets, because I have a feeling they're going to sell out this year because it's still a limited amount of space. But it's going to be a nice little change. I really like the space that we're going to be at. It's going to be a nice little change of scenery from the shelter house type of thing we've done for the past couple of years. And but yeah, it's going to be, we're working on the details now, doing the annual Air Day planning. So try to get it together. So yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing. We keep this thing going at the gathering, the gathering of the practitioners and people who are interested in the Mucusless Diet Healing System. It's a great thing, man, to come together and have an event unlike anything that the deaf culture is putting on. Yeah. Because it's not like sex, drugs, and rock and roll. You know how Procter and Gamble do their conventions where the executives have fun. They looking to get away, and their convention is a party. Right. Ours isn't. It's about that feeling, man, of being around people for 2 days that really have that relate to you on every level. On every level, and you can have conversations, and the women can feel safe. Hopefully that hopefully that the men ain't trying to just shoot down. And I mean, I'm a real stickler about that, because I don't want this to turn into that what the deaf culture does, So right. I want it to be the complete opposite, of this is just, place where everybody can feel very safe, being around people that can relate on every level to each other. People talking about the enemas, people talking about transition, people talking about whatever. It's just, I mean, those are the 2 days that you get it in, that you can be around people that relate to you. It's nothing like coming up to a person like, "Hey, how you doing, man? What's your name? So and so. Hey, yeah. Do you do enemas every day? Yeah, I do them every day, man. What about you? No, I do them every other day, man. But and boom, and there you go. Yeah. Yeah,
that's the only place you can talk like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because you can't do that at like the vegan get-togethers.
No.
You know, they'll look at
You're not going to
you
the
like
Walmart
crazy.
and run into somebody who's, only there for those 2 days, or you gonna run into people that's gonna be able to relate to a bad elimination, or just understand. And so we don't have Tekoa here, but we got her up the tree there.
Yeah, she's way up there, and I did that. See, that's Reese in the middle, and then Cassidy over here. Yeah, so Tekoa is way up there. You can't see her.
Yeah. We say bird brains. They up in the tree. It's like, okay, So yeah, man. So what else is it, man? Is the Fire Music Project gonna perform there, or?
I think that's the rumor.
Oh, okay. I had heard, and I was kind of skeptical.
And I actually got these, which I haven't even given you one yet. I haven't. I just mess with them. These are the Fire Music Project refrigerator magnets.
Oh man,
these are pretty cool.
Well, we moving on up.
Yeah.
We finally got a magnet on the Frigidaire.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah. So Fire Music Project may or may not perform. So
yeah, I think that's.
But one thing I was thinking about on the Sunday, I was thinking about having like open mic, because a lot of people like to, bring the guitar and.
Well, I mean, but that's what we do anyway. I mean,
it's normally just.
It's like we got
the
jam session, and then
it's normally been just me and you and John, but
it gets collective, like
yeah. Well, I mean, more of that, more of like a session for that where they can bring their guitar or whatever it is and sing their song or whatever, I mean, we could join in, I guess, too, a little background, but so give folks a chance to share, because there's a lot of folks who play music, man, that don't let us know that they play music,
Right.
Sue and Evans, man, they're musicians, man. And Q, we know that he's a musician. Aqua does his rapping, and Tobin. There's a lot of folks who claim to be artists. Come on, let's do the art. If you claim to be artists, don't be afraid to. Especially at Air Day, that's where we all love you. We all will. We embrace you. So come on with the art. And, so that'd be interesting.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
That's
live at the Apollo. Live at the shelter, I guess. Yeah, so that'd be cool. So we got a lot of things to put in place too, about the food and everything. We gotta.
There's a lot of work that goes into this thing, and so we, y'all be hearing more about it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Be working on it.
It'll be interesting. So somebody was asking me about. I felt like we needed to do one more in Columbus, like this one, And then they would say, "Well, what about moving it to different places?" Well, we needed to get it under our fingers. We needed to get it under our fingers, About
you got that old loud, like you try to go like bro, I'm from the 70s, I want a loud bell.
That's why I got it. That's why I picked that ringtone. That reminded me of how I grew up, man.
Yeah.
I can't hear some of those tones, man. How other people's it's funny how younger people ear are driven to tones that I barely could hear in the room.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, it just shows you it's more going on than sound there. It's a certain frequency. It's a blood thing. It's because I'll be like, wait a minute, I couldn't even hear that. And they hear it. They could be 3 stories up. I hear Hanif, man, and he has this real low ring tone. It's like that. He can hear that thing. Oh, hold up, my phone went off.
Yeah.
He go running upstairs. I'd be like, I ain't hear nothing. So that was why I went with the old school. You know, that thing.
My phone,
everybody.
Yeah, my phone's on silent most of the time, and then I'll see it. Like if I'm working, I'll have it in front of me, and then I'll see it turn on. You know, if I want to answer or something. But you know, my mentality, I always kind of was like that. Like so. My version of what you did, because I have it on silent, but my version is mentally, I act like my phone the way we used to treat phones, like in the 80s, where you don't have to hear, you're not going to hear back from people like immediately, you know, where people now, they expect that you're going to, you know, you this back and forth and texting and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, man, you used to just leave a message and you expected to hear back from the person a couple days later, you know, like you wasn't going to hear back from them right away. You know, you left it.
Now people don't like to talk on the phones. I mean, most of the people I'll even call because they like, but you call and they never answer, never get back with you. But as soon as you text, boom, they be hitting you right back. You be like, damn, like, what is that about? Because I damn sure don't be liking to write. I'd rather talk, say what's on my mind. I don't want to be sitting there like in a little bitty ass screen trying to use little bitty ass letters and numbers and damn that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like, but people are so fixed. And I watch people who work the fingerboard. They got it down.
Oh yeah.
It's like, so what you text, like 60 words a minute?
Yeah. I mean, that kind of thing.
You know, it'd be like, man, like, yeah, I'd be like one finger, like, you know, trying to spell it out, then get the right spelling, like unconditionally. Be like, so yeah, man, it's different world, man. Different world.
Yeah. I mean, and it's like we say, you know, use the technology like you use it. You know, don't let it use you.
Well, that was the whole thing when
you
got involved on the internet. I was telling you, I said, you was like, you want to do something. You kept telling, I was like, I'm not interested. And then it came down to, look, if we're going to catch some people in the web, that's cool. And you was like, yeah, man, we doing all this. And I just had to.
Because you socialize way more than I do online. I don't socialize online.
Well, I think now,
talking to people
because I did it in real life. I did it in real life too.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, because I did it in real life too. I mean, you kind of had your buddies that you went around, and that was it. It wasn't like, you know, you wasn't gonna see Spira with so and so and so and so in there, and then see him with so and so and so. Nah, you gonna see him with them.
The band. It was like
that's
the
it.
Band and Mucusless Diet people.
Yeah, that's it.
That was it.
That's it.
You know, you catch me, or it's all business. If I'm in school,
that's it.
I'm in school, and that's business. You know,
that's it.
So it's like that. Yeah, that kind of thing. And
well, that was, you know, it's just how that whole social thing. I mean, myself, I was around so many people. Man, I mean, it was one thing about being popular. I don't know if that was a good thing or, I mean, I was super popular growing up, you know, in all high schools, not just one. Because I used to skip and go to all of them. So I was known at Taft, Hughes, Woodward, you know, Princeton, all these, wherever there was 5 women, we were there. you know, and so I knew where all the parties. Everybody would call me about the parties every weekend. Where you know, I'd be getting them calls every Friday. Man, what's happening tonight?
Yeah, you were the guy.
I was the guy. I could tell you, oh, it's a party out in so and so Cumminsville or so and so, and they was having a, you know, so it was always that. I didn't necessarily go to a lot of that, but I knew where everything was. My thing was always like parking lot dwellers. I'd wait till the party was over, then I'd come and pick up a woman. You know, that everybody that got drunk and high and shit. And then it would be like, I know she gonna be there. Like I know this, you know, okay, I'll beat you at, you know, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, get drunk, get high, dance, do whatever, you know, then I'll be right out the party. It'd be like a guy with her trying to, I'd be like, she's already got plans, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know, put in all that work. Thank you for getting her good and right, you know. So yeah, that was my thing, man. I was notorious with that. You know, I was notorious with that little move. So
yeah,
wow.
The days of pus and roses.
Oh man, pus and wild Irish rose.
Yeah, pus. Yeah, the days of pus and wild Irish rose. Yeah.
Man, we was crazy, man. Crazy. And the funniest part about that was after the party, 3 o'clock in the morning, going to a White Castle, listening to the drunk capping on somebody. Oh,
yeah.
You would hear the greatest like cap lines in the world, man. Whole place be crying, you know. Be a cap session between some drunk and some younger person, man. And
Yeah.
Just be hilarious, you know.
Yeah.
3, 4 in the morning, man, at White Castle. I remember those days. You know, so yeah, I mean that's not the sad part of it is that I still know my partners, people I grew up with who still do that.
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday night, you know, they'll go to whatever little clubs or whatever they do. And I mean, it's like, wow, you know, like 50, 40, 50 years of that. God.
Yeah. I mean, it's deep. And that's what to me, it's like Facebook was more of a place to study and do business. I mean, and that's it, like for me. And I would go on there and just seeing the folks that I grew up with. And it's like, we don't have to go to, you know, back in the day, you would have to go to the reunions and people, you know, bring out their baby pictures and significant. Now it's like Facebook, you can just see their life. And
well, Facebook is the hookup. Facebook is the new hookup. I mean, that's what.
It's the old, because now it's getting outdated. Now folks are getting.
Well, yeah,
I mean, it's on the decline, you know.
Yes, I mean, everybody that I know really.
It's for old people now. I mean, literally, Facebook is literally for old people now.
For older people,
it's viewed as the old people.
But Instagram is what younger people are always telling me to do.
Yeah, well, Instagram, TikTok, and
TikTok,
you know, that kind of stuff is more young.
That's why I don't go to it. It's like you want to deal with me, you deal over here. I'll deal with one social media, and that's it.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a member of those, I know I have.
Well, they automatically like Instagram. Yeah, they
I have accounts, but I don't have nothing up on them, and I don't go to them. I just don't. You know, I'm just not into that social media thing like that. I'll sit up and watch YouTube and watch a jazz. I was watching. Oh, I got the song. We're gonna do that Kenny Garrett song this year.
Yeah.
We're gonna lay that one out.
Yeah.
I was like, we're gonna do that one.
Yeah,
we're gonna do that one.
Yeah.
You know? And so I was watching his concert a I think it was 2021 somewhere. I think it was in Philly or something. But I was like, okay, yeah, we could do that one. That's the groove.
Yeah, that'll work.
So yeah. So did nobody ask us any questions? Wow.
Yeah, I didn't see too many questions today. I think we
okay. Well, I guess we answered all their questions that we left them with. No, nothing to ask. Y'all covered it, Brother Air and Professor Spira. Well, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to see. I mean, there is a lot of folks in the chat. There's talking and
cool
and that kind of thing. And so
keep it peace now. Keep it peace.
Keep it peace. And so it's all right. I think we.
So did we address the state of the mucus? Did we address everything we wanted to address?
Yeah, I got it either visually. I mean, I got it out visually. All that stuff I was showing, I pretty much like because you could watch it back and just watch the visuals and just analyze that. Just analyze. Because there's not enough of people really juxtaposing those realities, showing the before and after, the cause and effect. It's like, and you need that. You need to start with that to have an understanding of why you're doing what you're doing. Because
I'm sorry that Tekoa couldn't hang. Sorry her connection got scrapped up or whatever. But maybe next time. Because she was our special guest. That was what was gonna make this a little bit special.
Yeah, I mean, we got a little in,
a
little taste, but yeah, we had to, we'll have to have her had to work on the internet connection situation or catch her when she's not in the country, catch her.
Or catch her when she's in Cincinnati.
She's in Cincinnati, and just have a session.
Or we can come up.
Yeah. We'll definitely,
So I'm good, man. I think I've covered everything. I've told the practitioners that I'm gonna be in a whole other type of mode. So don't take it personally, because it's getting ready to get even more serious.
Yeah, it's like get out the way.
Get out the way.
And that's what's needed. We live in such it's just a soft time. It's like these generations, it's getting softer and softer in terms
very soft and sensitive. Softer and sensitive.
Soft and and that just wouldn't just not.
I mean, the things that I've been talked to and then rolled off. Well, I sat the other day and listened to a guy just cuss me out, man, and threaten my son.
When was that?
This was down at the tab. I was just sitting there. I had gotten there very early because I was doing a consultation with Evan.
Okay.
So we do our thing. So I got there really early. I said, well, I'll just sit there and do this for an hour. And then by that time, the show will start, So that's what I did. Got there really early. So it was lucky that it wasn't nobody at the tab at all by the time this had took place. This cat just cussed me out and talked about kicking my ass.
I mean, was he just like a mentally ill person that was just not like a homeless person or something?
Yeah,
what was that?
He was definitely a mentally ill. It was in front of the tab where I set up at.
Okay, so it was like a homeless person that was mad that you were setting up there.
Yeah, he just walked by. He just was walking by, I guess. And he tried to speak to me, and I didn't say nothing because him and Hanif and Chris have been having this beef. And I didn't say anything to him. I just know he's like, and then he was talking about, well, you don't want to apologize to me. And he stood there for about 20 minutes just calling me off, talking about he's going to kick my son's ass and how you feel about your son getting his ass kicked because of you. I didn't say one word. I just sat there. You talk about a kinder, gentler brother.
Yeah, really. Because I remember back in the day, boy, you start taking stuff off, getting like something to, you know, they'll just be going off, and you're just listening as you're taking something off, ready to.
Well, I mean, like I said, we've grown.
We've grown. You know, yeah.
We've grown, man. We've grown. I like myself. I think the universe likes me, and I like everybody in the universe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I sat there, and he got tired of talking to himself and went on. And that was the end of it. I didn't say a word. I was like happy. I was happy that I had grown.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I've grown. I've really grown.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So
there's one question. Said, does Brother Air, do you still have mucus on your tongue? Like
it's personal. No. I normally don't get it on the tongue like that. Like I scrape, and I don't get a lot off, but I don't get a lot off. I mean, I've been fasting the last 9 weeks now. So no, I don't get it. I don't get it on the tongue like that. Not a lot of like scrapey stuff like I used to in the 90s. I just remember scraping, man. It was almost like a nice little amount.
Yeah.
Like, you know, now it's not like that.
Yeah. I don't have a lot. There's not a lot of secretion.
Yeah, not like that, you know.
Yeah.
I get more up against my gums.
Yeah, I don't got it. I don't get elimination.
Yeah, I get more. If it's anything, it might be up against my gums, the bottom of my gums.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So Nam said,
go ahead.
See, Nam said, does cleaning the gut heal acne and scarring? Well, we're not allowed to say that anything heals anything, so this isn't advice. My experience has been like that for people that whatever you're trying to do, you're cleaning up the gut is got to be the first thing. You know,
that's where it all starts.
That's where it all starts. And so if you looked at all those pictures that we was looking at earlier, and you could just imagine how is somebody's skin gonna, if there's skin issues there, you know, how's that gonna heal without cleaning out that stomach, you know, just getting that gut out of there. That doesn't mean that things happen overnight, you know, but it's, as we always say, really get into the book, you know, get into the system, because you got to do more than just really clean out.
And look at the videos. Look at all the videos.
Well,
man.
we got a lot of
videos, man, that talk about just what they're talking about.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a lot of stuff. Well, e-course and the videos. There's a lot of resources now, you know, that was kind of my mission, was just to have more resources available for people to at least get started. And, you know, we don't always have the kind of, you know, resources to put on the Tony Robbins production that I would like to do one day, you know, right now.
Pus begots pus.
You know,
that's how all that works.
Well, you know, I mean, it's so, but yeah, where it's at now, you know, we have, like I said, I took steps to try to protect all the content. So if YouTube decides they want to come after us and start giving us warnings and all that kind of stuff, then, you know, we got a space, and we'll take it on over to Odyssey, and we'll just exclusive over there if we have to. And I know not as many people know about that platform yet, but you know, we'll go over there and
well, we just have to keep talking about it.
Yeah, folks will come on over, but yeah, so this is, you know, I call this state of the mucus address to a close. I
Yes.
think we got it in.
Thank you for having me on your podcast. This is actually your podcast.
Yeah, it's a podcast episode, so it'll be like part of the podcast episode. But yeah, I like having these. You know, we get the unleashed and
yeah, man.
We might have to do like a private unleashed.
I can cuss. Can I cuss?
Cuss. Oh yeah, like one that's like, viewer discretion is advised, and we can,
I'll communicate with my jail buddies to be in jail. Get on the internet, and watch us.
That'd be something that it'd be interesting.
Be like all them cats. They like, I'll be on it, so and so. So jailhouse rep that ain't never been to the joint. Boy,
that's deep.
That blew my mind.
Yeah,
they talking about you, man. And it was like, woo, like, Will, oh man.
It was like, man, you gotta rep in the
in the joint, man.
Notorious. The notorious brother Air.
Chillicothe.
Man,
that's, I don't know. I mean, how do you process that, man? Like damn. Because somebody told me one day, because I always thought I was a nice guy, just with others, and I remember I ran into some people at a little cafe. Walking by, I was actually 11, and they were sitting at a little cafe, and he said, man, when you used to come around, we used to know some shit was just getting ready to jump off.
Yeah. Well, I can imagine, because I'll be hearing your stories. And it's kind of, you'd be like, man, we used to beat this dude's ass every day, man. And, that was just a ritual with us. We had just beat his ass.
That guy just called me. That guy just called me about a week ago, man. We talked for about 3 hours, man. And that guy you talking about, man. Yeah, every day he would go. He would come up the street. Like we told him, don't come up the street. Like don't come. He's like, no, I'm coming. And he would come, and we would just pommel him. And then the next day, he could have walked on up, go to his house. He'd have to come down our street. Here he come, down our street. It was me and my partner Skeeter. And we just like, this dude ended up being one of my best friends. Yeah. I mean, because he had heart, because he was taking these ass kickers, man, like consistently. Mm-hmm. I mean, like every day for months, man, we were just beating his ass. Like, why you keep coming up the street? We tell you to go around. Like, he got to the point where he was sitting there. If we went outside, he was sitting there waiting on us. Just sit there, like, he just wanted us to know, like, I'm coming up the street. Y'all ain't gonna stop me.
Yeah.
So I just talked to that cat, man.
Yeah.
He told me, he said, man, you was talking about the diet in the 70s, man.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. He's like, man, you was talking about all that stuff in the 70s. He said, man, we used to sit there for hours and hours and just watch you practice. He said, we would just sit there, just watch you practice for hours.
Mm.
I was like, wow, So, it just kind of reinforced that, I was telling the truth when I'm telling these stories. It's not like I'm like,
right.
I'm lying or anything. I'm just telling you how it was, man. I mean, I was a serious musician, practicing 4 or 5 hours a day. I was serious. I mean, I was serious about, Dick Gregory turned me out at 15. I was talking about the diet. Then this cat would confirm. He said, man, you was talking about the diet all in the 70s, man. And just so, this has been a lifelong thing, man, that this passion. It wasn't hard to make this like the priority at the center of my existence.
Yeah.
You know, for some people, it's hard to make this the center of their existence because they love watching themselves in the mirror. You know, I want to live the sporty life, you know. You know, it look good. Hey, look at me. I'm over here. I'm over here. You know, they still stuck on themselves, you know. So
yeah, that's it. See, there was one. So there was another question that came in. So we'll do this last question. Jesse was saying transition off. So I'm gonna invite you, check out my Spira Speaks, my book Spira Speaks, because I get into kind of my like how I got off of the medication and that kind of stuff. And there's another is like them topics that I can't really even talk about or shouldn't talk about on YouTube and any kind of detail, but I get into it in there a little bit and just that discussion. But as they say in law, it depends. You know, it depends on what it is you're doing, what it is, you know. So sometimes you can do the former, sometimes you got to do the latter. But yeah, but the definitely for me, it was after well, I'd say before, you know, after 6 months, I had lost quite a bit of weight and was off of everything. So, you know,
you remember when we went up to Columbus and knocked on your aunt's door?
Yeah, right. The first time, yeah, when she was like, "What?" Yeah, she ain't.
She was just thinking we was two black guys at the door, looking crazy with locks. And
yeah.
She was like, and then she kind of focused and she said, "Michael."
Yeah.
I was like,
and I forget, and you remember a lot of, like, I forget a lot about a lot of those reactions, especially those first time people ever would saw me after I'd like lost the weight and changed and that kind of stuff. And it was one of them things at first where you know, you kind of get that little ego kind of thing, like, yeah, people, you know, but then it gets old like real quick, where like then you get to a point where it's like, man, I don't even want someone to see me, like I don't even want to go through all that, because it's like the same, like, oh damn, oh man, you look so, hey, you lost so much weight, man, what'd you do, man, what you eat, oh man, what, you know. And then I'm just like, so yeah. So that lasts for like a couple weeks. You're into it, and then after that, and it don't stop, and it's just like, yeah, it's getting old. Like that gets old kind of quick. And but she was
freaked out. She just looked. And I mean, could you imagine us coming to your door? You know?
Right, just
a little white woman now. This, I mean, like us coming to your door, you know.
Yeah.
And we like are, you know, long. I had the long ass locks then. My locks was like down to my knees, and my ears, and then he was like 100 pounds thinner, and she just looked. She never forget that look. She just looked, and she just had to focus, like, and she was like, Michael. And he was like, yeah. He was like, yeah. It's like, wow. He's like, wow, you really have lost a lot of weight. Because I know she was communicating with your aunt about you had lost some weight, you know, but I don't think she thought that she would be able to recognize you like that. You know, when people say you lost weight, people think, well, he lost 10, 15 pounds or something. Not 100.
Right.
So she was just shocked, like, oh God, like, dang. And then I remember us spending the night there. We was cold.
Yeah.
We was in there like, man, when she turned the heat up. And this was just a part of the physiological transition, that it wasn't so much that her house was uncomfortable, but for us, it was real uncomfortable because we need heat.
Yeah.
But people don't understand that, man, and that lets you know that they haven't really went through that through, you know, what they say, the change is like
well, and what ends up happening, and I had to explain to people is like, look, it's not that because there's some people that don't do well because they have, you know, endocrine gland issues, you know, and it's like with us, like, no, it's not that. It's that it's a whole, because, you know, I can withstand cold like now even more than I did back then. I hate it. It's like I can withstand it better, but I hate it more.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm gonna do everything to stay out of it.
That's a good way to, because I can stand it more.
Yeah,
I can't stand it now. Yeah, I can stand it a little bit better.
Yeah, you be out there. Yeah, you out there playing sometimes.
Yeah, it'd be like 40 degrees. It'd be like 40, 39 degrees or whatever. And I'm like, good. Just as long as my fingers don't get cold, I'm good. Right. I got my hoodie, my little skull, and my bubble on. And I'm good. I got my long johns, and I'm not feeling nothing. I'm just like trying to, you know, get that money.
Right.
But if my fingers get cold,
right.
You know, but yeah, I do hate it more. I just hate any signs of you know, cold toilet seat type of oh my God. Don't let me be there. None of that kind of stuff. So yeah, you know, it was like that on the California visit, man. It was like first night freezing. I was just like this in the house, you know, like you know, they didn't get it at all. They didn't get it at all, you know. So it was kind of like they just didn't get it. And so then afterwards, got a space heater, everything was good, you know. But that first night was, oh man, you know.
Yep.
I mean, right now it's 70 degrees. Outside, well, it's probably got a little colder now, so it might be in the 50s. My heat is on 85 right now.
Yep.
So it hasn't went down or up, and even when it's nice out, I mean, it's like 70 degrees. I don't touch it. I don't touch it. I'm just put a filter in.
Yeah.
Keep it rolling.
We're what? A tropical species.
Yeah, man. That's
you know,
that's what we want. That's what we want to be, man. I'm so jealous of Q. He's over there, and he's probably gonna transition completely over there, you know, at one point. So he found his tropical paradise. Yeah, he's a working farmhead. Working farmhead now.
Yeah.
Keep the peace now.
Yeah, and we're gonna keep. But I'm gonna holler at him. We're gonna get them on the podcast, you know, talk about the sanctuary.
That'd be a good show, man. That'd be a good show. Because Andrea is a special person, man. A real that's the Tekoa of Colombia. You know. Yeah. So we got a lot of Tekoa sightings.
Yeah.
We got a lot of Tekoa sightings. Florida, but Colombia is for me, she's the Tekoa of Colombia. So, you know, I don't know about the Florida piece. Did you get that picture?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I requested him to send you that just because I thought you would get a kick out of that.
Yeah. Got that. And
oh boy.
But I need to. I'm gonna be. Yeah, no, I gotta hit him back.
Yeah, he called back and everything. We talked, and, you know, but we got a lot of talks. Before anything is.
Oh yeah, we got some talking to do.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that got kind of dealt with, but
yeah.
but this is a start. We started the process.
Right. So all right, brothers and sisters, thank you all for tuning in. You know, y'all been hanging with us. This is a what we do. This is almost a 4 hour. We got back to our 4 hour length sessions here. So
all right. It felt like 3 hours, but that's 4. So
it's 4. So
just imagine if Tekoa would have been here. Probably got 5 or 6.
Got the 5 or 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been on all night. Turned this into the meetup, you know.
Yeah, really.
Meetup. And
really. So I'm happy, man, that we could do this again. I hope the people dig it. Hope they get something from it. We're trying to promote the practice of the Mucusless Diet Healing System. After all is said, I mean, that's really what we're trying to do. We're trying to just promote that in a good way that people can maybe understand it a little better. And then those who just never really heard of it, I hope we haven't been too hardcore, but it's the practice of transitioning away from mucus and pus, which is animal flesh, dairy, grains, and starches, in a slow, comfortable transition. The book will lead you like a blueprint on how to temper your physiology and get rid of those cravings that you have for the mucus and the pus. And it's a slow process, not anything that's set up by 1 year or 2 years.
It's not overnight. It's not a 12-day miracle.
It's nothing like that. This is clean your blood, clean your ass. You know, we
clean your blood and your ass will follow.
And your ass will follow, yeah. And so
clean your ass and your blood will follow.
Yeah. However, both ways.
Both of them. Yeah.
So we're trying to get you into that, you know, which can help you prevent a lot of disease and just live longer, man, and live a life of less pain. And,
freedom, less pain, peace.
Peace.
Just in the midst of
you gotta do the work. You gotta be willing to do the work, and don't get flustered or scared when it looked like it's tragic, because you're gonna get weak. In some cases, you might get a little weak, and you might think that weakness is sickness, and it's not. It's just you are eliminating stuff. It's actually a good sign.
Yeah,
because you've been doing the work. So just lay there. Don't panic. Don't be calling Dr. Kildare and all them folks, and just lay there and relax. And
Doctor who?
Well, that was what I dated myself by. That was one of the 60s shows. Dr. Kildare, you know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I mean, you an 80s child. So
yeah.
This was in the 60s and the early 70s. Dr. Kildare. So
yeah.
So man, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you. Practitioners, we get ready to turn it up a notch. I'm getting ready to really be like really harder on you cats.
Yeah.
Because I want nobility. I want nobility and majesty to come out of
the
I want that to come out of what you're doing, man. This ain't no just want you to be able to come into a room, man, and just demand a certain kind of respect and feeling. That's what I want. The sisters don't treat yourself like what's the word, like little drop-offs or whatever, where men can just treat you like a trash receptacle and be done with you. have some nobility, carry yourself like you're supposed to be, just, make them work, tell a brother, like, okay, we can hang, you willing to go about 3-4 years before we hook up? Make it work, make him see if he's, well, yeah, you that special, yeah, I will wait for you like that. Let's get back to developing a culture. That's the only way you can develop a culture. Is you got to put stipulations on everything. We got to relearn ourselves in every way. And I know that sounds really, really, oh man, I know. I mean, it's people who meet each other in 2-3 days. They in the bed with each other. They know each other well enough now. If it wasn't a one-night stand, it only take a week. We went out 3 times. We went out 3 times. That's enough. I know him well enough. We went out 3 times. So, folks better understand, man, if they want to put something together like that's going to stay together, they better build it upon some strong foundations, and not that recreational. Like, hey, let's go to the recreation.
Well, I mean, or do like what I used to do would be, I'll like, okay, come hang out, and then we're watching Slaughterhouse like the stuff you see me what I'm putting here. That's what it's like hanging with me. So you come over, it's like we watching Slaughterhouse videos, we watching documentaries on the end of the world.
I remember this one sister just giving me a look like, help me, like, help, please, just help me. And I was like, I can't do it. I just drove away, man, and she just had this like, help, please, help me.
But that's it's like, okay, it's an opportunity to educate. Don't never squander an opportunity to educate.
Like, no, it's like, man, I could put y'all stuff in the bed. It's like, and she was like, oh, cool. He was like, no, we just right up here. We can walk.
Yeah, it's only right. There's only a couple more miles. Let's go.
Couple of more miles. We can walk. And boy, she looked at me as we drove away, like, help me, please. Like a wounded puppy, boy. I was like, Spira boot camp.
Yeah.
That's why I pray for Kyrie too. I still pray for Kyrie. It seems to be holding up. So, Kyrie, yeah. She gets my thumbs up, man, because I know, boy, the boot camp is rigid, but you'll come out in the boot camp like on a whole other level if you stick it out, So it's a beautiful thing. So.
Yep. So, all right, everybody, thank you all for tuning in. Again, we got the spring sale popping off on the chat. I got it pinned up there if you want the sale price, taking advantage. And you might already had a book, so get some more. Get some more for the library, for spread it around.
Yeah, give them away. I mean,
give them away.
Better than gifts. I mean, these are great gifts, man. That shows that you really care about.
Like, this is the New Year's gift of spring, because this is the real New Year's.
Yeah, man.
So, you hand that on out, and
the real New Year's, and that's Sunday, and tonight is the full moon. So go out and do some deep breathing tonight, and look up and give thanks for being here, that you can breathe, and and take it on into the first, which would be the Sunday, and just look at it, man. You get another chance to get it right. You get another circle. Starts at this circle. Now you're at the top at the circle, and you get a chance to get it right this time.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So it's a beautiful thing, man. So
That's it.
yeah.
So, all right, everybody. Well, until next time, peace, love, and breath. We are mucus free. 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 We are mucus free.